Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? Adrian here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Welcome back to the streams. Hopefully tonight everything goes right. For those of you that have been following my World of Warcraft review, I was streaming my lovely stream up till like day 4, and then my internet just shut off everything. Not the ISP with the net connection per se, but my port connection to YouTube streaming. So, you know, if anything happens tonight, if I get disconnected or whatever, I do apologize. I will try again, but just expect things to go wrong, alright? Other than that, hello to everybody. Good seeing you guys. We got ggmyster in chat, and you know, you guys watching as well. We got Mario in chat. Good morning. Good morning to you, Mario. So here's the thing. Tonight is about World Quests. Let me just bump up the audio a little bit so you guys can tell me whether that's too loud or not, because we'll be doing a lot of quests, alright? So tonight's stream is going to be about World Quests. For those of you that play World of Warcraft, you're very familiar with the concept and the idea of the World Quest content. Once you're done with leveling through an expansion, gearing up and just grinding for reputation for a few of these achievements, which includes flying in the new expansion. For those of you that don't play World of Warcraft, just here chilling out, hanging out, seeing what the new expansion is all about, don't worry, I'll try and make it informative for you guys as well, so you know what's happening in the other games that you play. We have Narish and Chaz as I. What up, Narish? How you doing, bro? A long time no see. So tonight, World Quests. Before I go back to Kultiras and Zundalar, I'm here in Stormwind, or in Elven Forest per se, doing the Dark Moon, because for those of you that don't necessarily know this, riding this little ride here gives you a 10% XP, not XP, sorry, 10% boost to your reputation. So doing this before World Quests, because today, I believe this is the first Dark Moon Fair we've had since the expansion went live. There we go. It happens on the first Sunday of every month, and it lasts for a week. Now this is great for those of you that are chasing for reputations like I am, trying to max them up for various different reasons, like pathfinding, like I've already mentioned, for flying in the new expansion. So a 10%, you know, reputation gain isn't great, but it all adds up. Trust me, it all adds up. So where am I with that? Why am I doing World Quests? I am one reputation faction away from hitting Pathfinder. Everybody else is at Revered. I've already hit Exalted with the 7 Legion, which also means Dark Iron Dwarves. Yay, I'll talk about that more. The only thing I have left is the Tortolian Seekers. These are the turtles, which even those of you that don't play WoW, you guys know how annoying or you know, how popular these things are proving to be because of what they say or because of the mechanics of their World Quests. And for those that are still confused, what the hell is a World Quest? Hang on, I'll get to it in a second, right? So once you've ridden this thing for about, I don't know, 30 seconds, you'll get a 1-hour buff. You can see right there at the top right of the screen. That is it. Now I can now get off this, head back to Borealis, because I am an Alliance player, and we can start doing some World Quests. For those of you in chat, hey, what have you guys been playing lately? Tell me all about it. How's your weekend been? Mine's all about making videos and screwing them up. I had 2 videos coming out for the channel. One of them involved a completely separate game, which I don't want to spoil right now, and the second one was about World of Warcraft BFA Dungeons. The dungeon one, I made like a 10 to 15 minute video, a 14-minute video, and then I realized I messed something up real bad, so I put that on the chopping block. I'm gonna have to redo that again, which is kind of why there's no videos this weekend. I apologize for the lack of content this weekend. So hey, here I am on stream. Okay, before we move, I am gonna go and do my mission board thing, and then we'll head out, alright? For those wondering, am I using add-ons? Yes, I am. World Quest List is probably the best World Quest add-on at the moment. I have it installed. What it does is when you hit M, you will see on the right side now. If I zoom out and just see the whole continent, right? So this is Kultiras. It'll tell me all the World Quests available to you, which faction they're for, which ones are the emissaries for the day, and today just happens to be the Order of Embers, which is Trustvar, and the rewards as well. Pretty good, that 340. In addition to all the other rewards you got for doing them. So I highly recommend World Quest List. If you don't have that already, let's head over to Zundalar, the Horde Zones, and we'll see that they have some too. So I've got 2 hours and 30 minutes to whack all of them out, and I do plan to do that tonight, right? Let me check in chat real quick. ggmyster says, I switched my contract to Tort Seekers today, which is a good plan. For those of you that don't know, contracts are this little thing that I think inscribers make. I think it's either inscription or enchanting, where you can make this consumable, which lasts forever until you get rid of the buff yourself. What it does is you gain 10 more rep. So this is what we've all been using, specifically me and the guild that I'm in, to do Champions of Azeroth. Champions of Azeroth as a faction. This is Magni, Bronzebeard's faction, the guy who now speaks for Azeroth herself, the world. And the reason why you want to up that as much as possible, because with Battle for Azeroth, you guys know that you get the Heart of Azeroth. This is your neck item that you cannot swap out this expansion. The more power it gets, the better it will be for you. And every time you hit a new reputation tier with Magni, what happens is he will increase your eye level of the Heart of Azeroth too. So that's why you want to get as much rep with him as possible. So switching to Tort is also a good idea if you want to get Tort fast. Marius is playing Horizon Zero Dawn. That game's been out for a year now or so? I can't remember, but I remember those of you that have been on my channel for quite some time, you guys will remember Cernois. She used to play Horizon Zero Dawn, and I used to watch that because I didn't have an access to a console at the time, so I didn't get to play that. But that looked pretty interesting. Naurish says he was doing his deadly assignments. For those of you that are in university or in college and you guys have your commitments, I feel you. I was once where you were, and doing your assignments in the middle of stuff, exciting stuff like maybe a new WoW expansion or anything can be a pain in the ass, but unfortunately you got to do it. Okay, am I going to do anything tonight? Yes. See, the thing about the mission boards here, they haven't really changed that much from the Legion expansion. The thing is, it's very much compact, and you get more diverse options like gold and Pat Charms, which a lot of people will say Pat Charms are useless. I have a couple of uses for them, and I'll talk about that later. I'm going to go, however, for these Azerite shards, because if you look at the bottom of the screen here, I'm only 580 away from hitting level 20 on my Heart of Azeroth, and hitting a new level also gives you big benefits as well, like being able to unlock more power from your Azerite armor. What are your Azerite armor? Those are your head, your chest, and your shoulders. So for example, hitting level 20, I'll get to unlock the next tier here. You'll see 20. So World Quest is another great way to go do that, because if you look at bugger, did I fall in the water? No. Pretty close though. Jump! Alright, if you look at your World Quest list, you'll see that a lot of them have Azerite as rewards. There you go. 191 Azerite. What else we got? 185 Azerite. Pretty good stuff. So let's go out and do some World Quests. And do I have a technique or anything? Guys, I've been farming this pretty much every day. I have not missed a World Quest. Simply put, the only time I missed a World Quest sequence was yesterday. I was tired, I didn't really do much. But I haven't missed a day of doing my World Quest. And I usually start in Stormsong and then I'll make my way south. All the way south. So let's go ahead and take a look at the layout of the land here. This helps me plan which flight path I want to do first. If there's something up north, I'm going to go there first. This is Tortolan the turtle, so let's go do that. Seeker's Vista, here we go. And remember, clock's ticking, because I've got 55 minutes on my Wii buff, which is the reputation gain. And I'm going to have to refresh that every hour. And the reset is in 2 hours and 30 minutes, so we have a race night. And in between, I'll be talking about all the stuff that we do. Let's talk about some mechanics of some of these World Quests. And for those of you that do play WoW, what's your favorite or what's not. We'll do all that stuff. In the meantime, let's get back to chat. Let's talk to you guys here. ggmyster says, I use Angry World Quests. I've heard of Angry World Quests. It's a funny name to you, like Angry World Quests. What difference does it make, Angry World Quest versus World Quest list? Because I stuck with the World Quest list for the longest time. It just gets everything, it's just all the information I need right now. And for new players watching, you'd be like, holy fuck, that is a bloody messy add-on. But, when you're at the sort of like after the leveling sequence of stuff and you're running dungeons and you're running the World Quest trying to get everything done, stuff like this information is really, really helpful. You don't even need to have, stuff like this, because if you go to sites like wowhead.com, for example, on their front page, they actually list what World Quests are for the day, in addition to what emissaries are live. So even before you log in game, you can actually check. And actually, your phone app, you've got your app on your phone, you can also see what kind of World Quests are out and about, so you don't really need the add-ons if you don't want to have them. We got Arv in chat. Rain556 says, hey Adrian, Arv here, perfect timing. What up, Arv? Good morning, man, you are up early. Arv is playing, he's a 120 Blood Elf Demon. I see him there on my friends list, and he's playing on the Horde side. And I sort of got a funny story. I thought he was gonna, be on the Alliance side, but he ended up being Horde side. So I can only play with you, bro, whenever I get my Horde character up, when I'll I can't promise that right now because I'm not sure if I told you yet, but I have started a Dark Iron Dwarf Hunter who is 116 at the moment. I've been busy. Okay, first world quest we're doing tonight is Shell Game.
I've collected many things over
I'll let this guy talk while checking chat.
See if you can match them.
Okay, we got Ryan Wolf in chat with the pink heart. Love right back at you, Ryan. A good friend of mine in real life, of course. ggmyster says I'm 19 and a quarter on Azreck rank, but I'm finding it hard to gain levels, mostly just world quests. Yeah, and the other thing is if you run a lot of dungeons, if you run a lot of island expeditions, and you do a bunch of those contents, you'll notice the artifact power just going up all the way. In fact, if you're bringing a new level or a new tune to the expansion, Blizzard has already implemented artifact knowledge, which is a faster catch-up mechanic for new players that are coming into the expansion now, because those of you that were playing at launch have already got a good head start in terms of gear and artifact power knowledge. So knowledge is coming this week, I think, for new players to catch up. Mario says BRB, hey, all chill, dude, take your time.
Have anything ancient to trade?
I'm gonna be here until reset, because it'd be great if I get a Pathfinder on stream. That'll be an accomplishment, but I suspect I will not. Because I think I need another 1,000 more. I am at 10,767 out of 12k. So this game, this world quest, is all about matching stuff. Now, for those of you that do not use world quest list, you might be going, what the hell? What is this? This is a cheat, simply put, because this add-on allows you to mark the shell. So for example, you open the first one, that is a crab with a hat, so you just mark it as crab with a hat. Oh, nice, it's instant match. I didn't even need to do that. So this cheat thing here, well, I wouldn't really call it cheat. It's more of a helper tool just to get it going fast. It's really to help you bypass spending too much time here. The first time you do this, hell, you don't even need to use the markers. You can play it normally, which is basically just try and match, you know, an item with an item. But once you do it the first time and then you realize, yeah, this is slowing me down, then by all means you can turn on the add-on and use this to your advantage. So what I usually do is I mark everything in advance. So that's turtle, and I know my ZPerl UI unit frames are in the way, but that's just how I like it, so bear with me. Yeah, my UI is gonna, you know, cause people a lot of grief because it's just too clunky and it's just weirdo kind of UI, but that's how I like my World of Warcraft to look. That's how I like to play, so deal with it. So once I've marked everything, it's just a matter of, you know, opening the ones that I mark, basically. So this is one of the easiest world quests to get out of the way ASAP before you move on. And I can't wait to go over to Zandalar and show you guys the Horde zones, because when my leveling streams got cut short while I was still here in Drustvar, and that's done. So let's see how much we got there. You guys can't see the chat, unfortunately, because Blizzard doesn't allow you to move the UI for chat, but that was worth 210 Tortolan Seekers XP. Why that much? Number one, again, I have the Wii buff right up here, 10%. Secondly, I'm a human. I play a race of humans, so that means that every reputation that I earn, I get 10% more. So those are things that I consider important. Like, if every expansion now, my first tune that I take through will always be a human race character of some sort, because that 10% bonus to the new reputation is always going to be important for me. I don't have a lot of time to spend in expansion cycles, guys. I'm not sure you guys know this, but usually with me, it's I review a game, I move on. I review a game, I move on. So if there's something to earn or achieve, I want to do it right now instead of doing it down the line when I can't even be sure if I'm back playing WoW or not. So you can see where my mindset with this is. I want to get it done now so that later when I come back, I'm not catching up, you know, to where the player base is at. So right south of here, I've got 6 children rescued. This is the next one, A Pirate's Life for Me.
A bunch of kids from Deadwash ran off to become pirates and ended up prisoners of the Iron Tide. I need you to save those children.
Alright, easy enough. Just, okay, I'm gonna need a key, right? So that means I need to kill a bunch of these Iron Tide buggers in the area. I'm gonna lower down the volume so you guys don't have to hear all these combat noises. And of course I pulled the wrong enemy. I pulled a bird. Yippee-ki-yay. So I guess doing this world quest, I can also talk a lot about, you know, how I've been gearing up for my Pally and stuff. You know, so many contradicting views about how you should build for endgame or for PvE, you know what, guys, play what the hell you want, build how you want. If you're in a serious guild about raiding and stuff like that, then of course you want to adhere to some guidelines in terms of, you know, what your Azerite, your Heart of Azeroth level should be, and what sort of builds are you running, like in terms of talents and specs. There's so many ways to build your WoW character, and it's all down to you at the end. For me, I've gone with a very hasty paladin, so crit and haste are part of my build. I took Inquisition. For those of you that play Pallies, Inquisition helps you get on equal footing with, you know, some of the hardest hitting DPS classes in Battle for Azeroth. The first one that comes to mind, like in almost all the mythic bugs that I've done, like hunters always come on tops, and for me to even get close to them, if you don't have stuff like Inquisition, or the second next best thing is Crusade, then you're going to be gimping yourself as a pally. So how many keys do I have? Just get all the keys first. Hey, in the meantime, while we're doing this, let's check in chat. I also want to stress that I have done every World Quest at least once, so I'm very familiar with what to expect, which is, you know, it's someone like Legion too, because I spent a lot of time at the end of Legion just grinding for the allied races, and one would think, like, I remember having this conversation with Tom 3 Kings, who you've seen on the channel. I was like, you know, I expected to be burned out myself, because having maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, or 3 or 4 weeks before BFA came out, I was already farming world quests every day to try and get the Void Elves and the Lightforged Draenei unlocked. So what's the thing I'm doing right after the BFA comes out? I'm grinding for rap using world quests again. So the first thing I thought was, okay, I'm definitely gonna get burned out here. The reality is I haven't yet. Okay, that's one more key. Let's check it in chat some more. I see chat moving a lot. Arv says, I've got Toon on both sides. Yeah, you were leveling a new mage, weren't you, on the Lion side? I caught you on a few times. I would have suggested something like, let's level together, but trust me, I think trying to coordinate our time zones, because you know, for those of you watching for the first time or whatever, I'm based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I'm halfway across the world from a lot of you guys in the West, and trying to coordinate play times with somebody in the States is it can be hard. We tried that actually on Thursday. It was me, ggmyster, and Tom. We were all trying to do level an alt together. That's when I got my Dark Iron Dwarves, and yeah, needless to say, we couldn't get much done because of time zone. But I did go pretty far with ggmyster, so one of these days we'll have a we'll play together. ggmyster says you don't need the cheat sheet; you can do it pretty quick. That's true. You know, if you have a better you know, flash memory or whatever you want to call it, go ahead and do it casually. I'm only showing you guys what I used to get through my World Quest cycle. It's not going to work for everybody, it's not going to work for you, but you know, because I'm showing it on stream, this is how I do it, doesn't mean this is how you got to do it, right? Just keep that in mind. I'm not trying to influence you here, I'm trying to show you World Quest, more importantly. Zul Chemical says, you can right click the chat window to unlock it, right? You can move the chat tabs, but I don't think you can move the window. That's what I'm talking about. But you can move the chat tabs. Let's see, background, what does that do? Color picker, okay, I didn't need that. Unlock window, can I move it now? Can I resize it smaller? Yes, yes, yes. Let me get the guy's name again. Zul Chemical. you just saved me a lot of issues with that chat window, dude. Thank you so much. ggmyster says that's because hunter players are pro. Don't get me into this crap. Hunters are, honest to God, now that I'm leveling one, I was in a you know, when you level through BFA for the first time, you do like all the dungeons one time, right, to get the I'm not gonna fight this asshole again, to get the story section done. For example, you gotta run the Shrine of the Storm the first time or whatever. I was only level 112 or something like that, and the rest of the group were like 115 or thereabouts, and I was doing crazy DPS with my T-Rex that I tamed in the Ungoro crater, and I was like, oh my gosh, range classes, not just hunters, I think range classes have it really better than playing a melee DPS. I'm glad that the Pally is my main though, because I think I learned more about the fights and the mechanics being a melee class, because I understand, I don't know, I just feel like I understand the fights better when I'm in melee, and you move around. I think you move around a lot more than range classes in some of these mythics. Let's not talk about normal heroic. I've got a video coming out that will cover that, but for the mythics that I've done in terms of moving around and being as aware as your tank is, and understanding, being right up in the face of the ads and knowing which one to interrupt, which one to the hard stun, all these stuff as a melee, I learn as the tank does, or you see things like the way the tank does, and I like that. Playing as the range from the back, it's also pretty easy. Well, it's easier than melee, I think. I don't know. For those of you that do play melee and range, how have you guys been with that? What's your experience with that? Now that I have both, I actually kind of enjoy having both that sight, being up in there, melee, and being range. The thing is, as a melee, my thought process just went fucked up. I was going to say, because you're moving around so much, it's hard to keep up a sustained DPS on a single target boss fight if there's a lot of movement. Or if there's even stuff. Koala just invited me to a group. See, okay, I don't know who Koala is, and I'm not reading chat because my YouTube chat's right there. So I'm just gonna click accept and see what he says, and then I'm just gonna leave if this is nothing. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, single target DPS. If the fight is all about movement, you lose your sustain for DPS. Whereas as a range player, you almost never sort of lose that, because you can pew away and still keep your movement up. So it's you have to do double work as a melee. I mean, that's just my experience so far. Okay, let's move on to Kickers. Kickers, I believe, is a simple boss fight, very easy world quest. But I've got one Tortolan down. I've got one more Tortolan world quest to go, and then boom, Pathfinder, baby. Going down, so one ggmyster says he's getting burned out of daily world quests by mythics. I'm doing a lot of mythic dungeons that I can get loot from because I've already done them. Oh yeah, I mean the mythic lockouts are about a week, I think, if you do them on the day they unlock. So if you run another mythic, you will definitely not get the loot because you're locked out. So that's why a lot of people want to get the mythics out of the way early. So one of my Azreck powers is to, when I'm in battle, some blue orbs come out, and picking that up will give you a bonus to your main stat. You may have seen me run over some blue orbs in the past battles. Didn't come out this run, but hey. All these 330 stuff, they're all soulbound because they're bound to you when you pick them up, which is, kind of... You cannot give them to alts. So if you're trying to gear for a world quest thinking that you're going to give all these stuff to your alts, tough luck. You're probably going to run them on your alts too, because reputation is not account wide. And I've seen on the... I've browsed the forums about this, trying to figure out where people stand with that. And, there's going to be some players complaining that I think world quest progression in terms of reputation should be account wide. While that sounds great, I think that really diminishes the amount of progression each of your toons will make, and that makes it, I guess without beating around the bush, is, look, Blizzard wants you to pay your 15 bucks a month. They're definitely not going to let you get away with it easy, whereby account-wide progression is made to be simplified so much that there's absolutely no reason for you to do anything on your alts besides use them as... if one of your toons are locked out for a raid or a mythic, then you bring on your alt, that kind of thing. You're definitely not going to see that, although there have been some account-wide stuff in the past. Transmogs, battle pats are account-wide, which is great, by the way. So there's lots of things around that account-wide conversation that I've seen going wrong. But for world quests, definitely per character, and I think only the battle pad stuff, like if you win a battle pad world quest, and there are a few, like these ones for example, crap people, That's a big card quest. These are all battle path world quests where you can go fight the enemy or whatever, or fight a creature, and then you'll get the reputation for that.
I'm hearing reports of some sort of horrible plant monstrosity near the crawl. Our mechanical farmhands should make quick work of it.
Okay, this is what... You guys remember this zone when I was streaming way back here? I think on day 2 or something of my BFA stream. So I am back here as well. So for those that do not play World of Warcraft, you know, world quests, some of them, a lot of them, I would say 60% of some of these world quests you've done before while you were leveling. And you'll usually see that in either part of the side quests or the main quests. And, you know, some of the fun mechanics for these quests come back when you're done with the expansion to be part of world quests. And some of them are fun because you remember doing them back in the quest, like I said, and you go, oh, that was a fun bit. I wish I could do that again on alt or whatever. And then you find out that they've become world quests and you're like, oh, that's cool. So, and the other 40% are just stuff that you don't... there we go. So this is what I'm talking about. My Azerite armor does that during the fight. It's kind of like the Demon Hunter. You know, Demon Hunter is when you kill an enemy... I think it's in Vengeance, and then you get to pick up health orbs and stuff like that. So this Azerite armor trait that I have drops those bubblets, which increases my primary stat. Pretty handy for me. Although in like you know, movement specific fights in Mythics and whatever, it's hard. Like for example, Tol Dagor, the last boss in Tol Dagor, is all about restricting movement. You do not want to move more than you have to. Every time you move, you fill up the boss's power bar or whatever, energy bar. And when you hit full bar, because you're moving too much, you get stunned. And it's like a 5-second stun or whatever, which is detrimental to the fight because one of the mechanics is a cannon will shoot you, and you have to be on the alternate path of the cannon to avoid taking damage. So the more you move, the more you're gonna get fucked. That's the mechanic of that fight. So with my Azerite trait, you'll drop those bubblets everywhere, and I'm like, risk versus reward. If I pick up that bubblet, I'm gonna beat the top DPS in this fight. You know, but if I don't, if I stand still and just wait for the meter to deplete, you know, that's a good fight. I like Tol Dagor. Tol Dagor is one of my favorite dungeons this expansion, and hopefully I'll be able to stream that. I'm thinking of a stream on one of the Mondays, and I'll call it Mythic Mondays, where I'll just run through all 10 Mythic dungeons on stream, which will be fun. Or not, because that'll be like a 7-hour stream. Alright, let's check in on, we'll chat some more. Sorry guys, I'm talking a lot here. Zelthin, sorry if I get your name wrong. Zelthin says, personally I just do the emissary quests, and the Champions of Azeroth and Tortolin quests can't be bothered to do all of them. Which is a great point. I have a couple of friends that do this as well. And so my thought process about doing them all at once is simply because of the sheer amount of goodies that you can get. Again, this is using the World Quest List add-on. A lot of the times you'll see there's a lot of Azerite rewards here, and to me that's also pretty important, like I said, because the higher your level for your Heart of Azeroth, the more good stuff that you can bring out of your armor, which is kind of why I'm just going, you know what, since I'm already here in the zone, I may as well do everything that's in front of me. But I do get that a lot of you have that, like, oh shit, I don't have all the time in a day to do everything, so I'm just going to do what's important for me, which is usually the emissary that's up right now, emissary of the day, and move on. And trust me, I used to be like that, especially with Legion. Towards the end part of the expansion, I'm like, oh, I couldn't be bothered. I'm just going to do Argosian Reach and, what's the other one? Army of the Light, and I couldn't be half-assed about everything else. So I know what you mean. I totally know what you mean. Let's scroll down some more. Arv says, I'll get that mage to endgame, don't you worry. Awesome. Man, these totems from these damn boars should die whenever they die. Just take a long while to despawn. So, from the few world quests we've seen so far, we've had one that's all about killing a normal boss. We had another one like the shell game. And then you'll get ones like the bonus objective style of things. So this one is the bonus objective style. You have a bar to fill up. You just kill enemies in the area as much as possible. And once you hit everything, you go on. Now, there's going to be a lot of people saying that there's a bunch of ways to maximize how fast you do this if you see other Alliance players in the area, and the reason I make that distinction is because, the Horde players come here too to do their world quests. For the, what are they called? For Alliance, it's the 7th Legion. What's the Horde version? The Honor, blah, 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 Dishonorable, I don't know. Yeah. The thing is, like you may have seen, if a Horde player gets aggro and does enough DPS, they gray out the mob, so you know, you will not get kill credit for that. But Alliance players, if you pull a bunch of them and bring them to Alliance or whatever, you know, then you guys can get it done fast. Most of the time I'm doing my World Quest solo, so... But there will be a time when I will, you know, use the group finder tool to get stuff done. And these are for the elite World Quest, you know, bosses or whatever. And there's a few out there. We'll definitely go do some of them, right? So this one's done. Next up, just down the road at Brennadam. Extinguishing... Oh... So this is one of the world quests that I definitely dislike, and you have seen me do this on stream. If you remember, I think this is stream 2 or 3 when I first got to the town here. I believe the orcs and the you know, air balloon thing, whatever, was attacking the town. Then you had to get the bucket in the middle and then go put out fires. I believe this is what we're doing now. I can't be sure. Let's go into town and find out.
The Horde has set fire to the buildings. Put them out before the whole valley goes up in flames.
So this one I definitely do not like, simply because of how fast the spawn rates here are, and simply because the bucket is a one-time use, and then you got to make your way back here, pick up another bucket, and then go find some fires. So the trick here is really, there's going to be a couple of fires that are together. You can do them individually like this one counts for 1 fire, but if you do a little exploration around here, you'll find there are 2 fire spots that are very close to each other, so that means you can knock out 2 with 1 go. So I do the fire part because it's just the most annoying one for me. I definitely hate coming back and doing this one, I'm not gonna lie. And there's a shit ton of world quests. Okay, shit! I remember there being 2 very close, but this is not it. That's pretty far. Alright, so in the meantime, I'm going to check in chat real quick. ggmyster says, Ward of Alzheimer's without cheat add-on. We got Faramir in chat. Hello, Faramir. Hang on, my chat's moving more than it should. Let me just scroll up and read some more. Faramir says, do you plan on leveling the Horde side? For those of you that are wanting Horde side, hey, I actually have started leveling my Horde character already. It's just that I didn't have time to show that off on a stream or... make a video about it, but I definitely have already arrived in Zuldazar on my DK, and I am just starting to meet Princess Talanji. I think at this point it's safe that we can talk about the story of the expansion as we move on, right? So yeah, I'm just starting the Horde side, and I'm definitely liking the whole vibe, and I'm gonna say this off real quick, and I know it's gonna be controversial or whatever. In terms of zones, I think the Horde got really good zones. Vol'dun, Nazmir, and Zuldazar are, in comparison to the Alliance areas here of Stormsong Valley, Drustvar, and Tirigard Sound, I think the Horde areas are more exciting for me in the fact that they just feel like when you try and tick off the themes of BFA, you know, uncharted lands, new civilizations, new things. The Horde site, as an Alliance player, when I go to it, I'm like, this is pretty cool, you know, it's like, that's neat. Whereas with the Alliance zones, they're also pretty great thematically, but it's not like out of the box. Like you've definitely seen some of these themes and, you know, setting and design in the past. So I really enjoyed the Horde side, playing as my Alliance character, going there, doing the war campaign. So I'm really curious about the story as well. You know, it's really exciting for me because while I can talk about the Alliance full story, I've done everything. I can't talk about the Horde site yet because I don't know much about Princess Talanji. I don't know much about her dad. I don't know how Sylvanas is reacting to that, you know, because from the Horde side, we were supposed to break out Talanji and bring her straight to Orgrimmar, where, you know, we were going to have that big meet and greet, try and get them into the Alliance, but Talanji wanted to go back here, really, to Zuldazar. So I'm at the part where I don't know what the repercussion or what the fallout is and how, you know, they're going to react to that. So yeah, at the moment though, I'm not sure, Faramir, if you heard at the top of the stream, but I'm leveling a alt at the moment who is a Dark Iron Dwarf Hunter. It's always okay, you know, to roll the easiest class, I think. And now I'm gonna piss off a lot of hunters by saying that, but I just feel like hunters have it easy. So I'm rolling one as an alt to alternate my mythics and dungeons and, you know, whatever PvP. But I'll try and find a day where I can just focus on Horde. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Here we got 2 fires back to back. I'm gonna throw it right there, and I should get both. There we go. So, you know, some of these world quests, you gotta be smart about them, but that doesn't happen too often, which really sucks, which is why I am doing them manually here. Ugh. This is really taking up time, and I've got half an hour left on my Wii buff, which means I have to go back to Elwyn Forest and refresh that, which is gonna be annoying for a lot of people. I saw another bucket there. There's a bucket right there, so it's not just in the middle of the town square, so I did not know that. That's handy. There's buckets elsewhere too. Alright, let's go on and chat some more. We got Shagrath. He says, what's up? What's up, Shagrath? Hey guys, sorry if I'm getting to your chat really late. I am going to try and keep up with everybody in chat. But I'm going to be focusing a lot on the world quest that I'm doing too, because, you know, I want to make this stream. Well, most of you that have reached this point in the expansion where you're already at cap, you guys don't need to watch the stream, honestly. You know, but for the benefit of players that don't play WoW or have no idea what world quest is, I wanted this to be an informative stream, so I'm going to be focused on talking through some of the mechanics and stuff like that. But also, I welcome discussion, you know. So let's start with that. What do you guys think about world quests? Those that have played through BFA and even those that don't, are world quests a good design for you in terms of content? Like, because when you compare what there is to do at the end of an expansion cycles, we compare WoW to other games that, you know, other MMOs out there that are of maybe the same level.
Thank you.
What do you guys think of world quests in general? Let me know. Scrolling down some more, Arv says, I love playing melee as my Demon Hunter, especially when a bunch of mobs are grouped up so I can AoE down. Demon Hunters are absolute. I love. I have a Demon Hunter at 110, which I thought was going to be my next tune to bring through to BFA because I wanted to tank as a Demon Hunter. Having watched a guy solo a Mythic Dungeon back in Legion on stream with a Demon Hunter, so I'm quite aware of what they can do. So I thought about that, and I love the Demon Hunter playstyle. Like I said in one of those streams, the Demon Hunter is a very fun class. What is this? Kill Sister Absinthe? Well, let's do it then. So this is an easy world quest. Just kill stuff, kill this sister or whatever, and she's gone. Some of them, like some of these world bosses in the landscape, they're just smash them down. There are others like on the Horde side. There's one on an island where it's almost like a mini boss fight. You got all these mechanics like moving orbs coming out at you that will stun you when you hit you. Those are fun because those are one of those world quests where you go, oh, this is not boring. This is not just a face roll. You know, there's it's a fun fight. So I've got one more left in Storm Song Valley, which is Azerite Madness. This one is pretty important for those of you chasing champions of Azeroth. I'm revered. So I'm just gonna go and do that real quick. Now, how do I get around fast? Like, you saw me moving on foot earlier because I chose to, but usually if I'm not streaming, I'm more efficient that way because I obviously have the whistle, right? You get the Flight Master's whistle. For those of you that are coming from Legion, you will be very familiar with this one because what it allows you to do is once you've unlocked the campaign to a point where a world quest becomes unlocked, you'll get this Flight Master's whistle, which when you use, it will take you to the nearest Flight Master, and from there you can just, you know, go wherever you want. There's no waiting to see how you fly or whatever. It's just instant boom. Let's go to the nearest Flight Master like this. And then from here you decide, okay, what's the next world quest that's nearest to me? So this one's right up here. So for me, Benedum is going to be easy. And now that I'm flying, I get to check in chat. Let's go. But yeah, Arv, I really enjoyed the Demon Hunter. I've been in a few dungeons with them, and it's always great, though, you know, the way they're doing that, zup, 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 and then they've got the I-beam of Doom, which is absolutely brilliant to look at. In dungeons, you know, when I'm doing them as a pally, I have a lot of AoE goodness as well, especially for my favorite is Wake of Ashes in addition to Divine Storm. These two, when played right with the right amount of holy power, you can be a beast in dungeons as a pally, but the demon hunters are also pretty good with their AoE. So yeah, as a melee, you do have a lot of fun with that. ggmyster says I can do pretty good DPS as range using Hekili add-on and just tunnel with that. Hekili is a hunter-specific add-on. I'm still pretty new with my hunters, so check that out for those of you who want to check out some hunter add-ons. Mario says, yeah, that is true. You need to understand their different attacks so you can be a lot more effective in battle. I guess this was earlier we were talking about the mythics between melee and range. Oh my god, am I dead far back in chat? Okay, I'm going to try and catch up with everybody. ggmyster says I use my flight whistle heaps when I'm doing world quests, which I've just showed off, getting from point A to point B. But usually I also A and B them. If they're very close to each other, I'll just go on foot as well, because I bring in more stuff into the context too. Like, okay, earlier on in the week when I was leveling my blacksmithing, I wanted ore, so I go on foot to get ore. Now I have an add-on, Harvester, that puts put icons on my map that tells me where the ore are, and they're not usually a given, but it just marks the general area of where the ore drops. Also, a good tip is that Storm Silver or Silver Storm ore, god damn it, Storm Silver Deposit. These are selling pretty well right now, so if you're mining or whatever, you can go up, go pick them up and sell them. Since I brought that up, I'm 150 with each, so this is the first time ever in World of Warcraft where I've maxed out my profession, and for good reason too.
Some earth elementals have been infused with Azerite.
Okay, this is a pretty... You will see this quest a lot, especially if you're gearing up, doing a world quest for the Champions of Azeroth. It's all about that. You kill a bunch of Azerite infused monsters. There's 3 different varieties. You got the small pebbly looking pitas, you got these guys, and then you got the big buggers at the end there. Oh, I'm too late. A Pally's got him. Ah, bugger. So that guy's worth a lot more when you suck up his essence. Whereas all the small ones are only worth a few. And killing a bunch of these will also add directly to your AP or your Azerite power. There's another one of these world quests which involves just sucking up the Azerite from the ground. There's another one that's about killing specific enemies. This one is by far the most annoying because you will rely on the amount of people that are in the area. If you are a horde player and everyone's around you is alliance, sorry, pardon my language, you're fucked. Because you cannot get the credit for, you know, killing them or whatever. So sometimes it's just down to the luck of the draw. In an alliance zone, you're probably going to run across more alliance players than anything else. So it's going to be easy just to round up all the mobs in the area and just suck up that AP. So over here you'll see alliance players already pulled that, so I am in luck. Yeah, Wake of Ashes, which is on cooldown. God damn it. Divine Storm. There we go. Tap, tap, tap. Tap them all. Alright, one's all down to suck up that Azerite, and I'm at 34%. So yeah, this is one of those quests that will definitely slow you down if you're doing it solo, but you can, you know, be smart about it. Just look around, see who's pulled the most, go to them, tap it, and suck it up. Any of those big guys spawned yet? Yeah, we got an infused bedrock there, but this Pally is in tank mode, he's in prot. So it's going to be a while before we kill that. I'm just going to see if he wants to do it or not. Otherwise, I'm just going to go pull some tiny stuff on my own. Horde players there, so that's a no-go. You don't want to mess with Horde side. I mean, let's let them do it. So, yeah. Let's scroll down some more, because I asked you guys a question. I'm interested to see your answers. We got Finn McCool. Finn says, Warcraft is fun, but there are too many... Really, Finn? Yeah, I'm not gonna read out that kind of shit anymore. Come on, dude. Play nice. Shagger says, I play WoW since June and I like BFA, but must admit, there's too much fetch quest over and over. I know it's an MMO, but when you need to get like 6 pelts, you need to kill about 20 mobs. Yeah, see, I talked about that in stream where some quests, they were like, yeah, if you need to kill 10 mobs for 10 pelts, we're going to give you a mob every pelt, you know, just to make sure that your time is not wasted. But then there have been instances of world quests. For example, there's one in Tiragard Sound at the Hunter's Lodge, and I think some of you may know what I'm talking about. This is to get pristine feather from birds, and that is one of the world quests that I absolutely hate because those feathers drop very, very rarely, so I needed 6 pristine, 8 or 6, I think there's 6, but I killed about 20 birds to get them. And the thing is, those birds spawn very, very rarely, and you have to compete with other, players in the area or whatever. Ah, god damn it! Did I soak up the Azreck? No, I didn't. Talking too much, lost my focus there. But yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about. In the general questing areas, or just the general zone quests, I didn't see that a lot this expansion, which I appreciate, at least from the leveling path that I took. But when you get to the world quest, and then there's going to be quests like that, the first thing that comes to mind is that was designed to slow you down. Blizzard doesn't want you to plow through your world quest as fast as possible, just to keep you having things to do at the end game. Because a lot of people, like I said, I guess I'm in a very unique position where, first and foremost, when I get time to play, I get a lot of time to play, and then I gotta move on. So I'm one of those guys that can do the world quest pretty much every cycle, every 11 hours when they come out. I'm on, and I'm always doing, and I'm farming, and I'm grinding. That's, I can afford to do that, but a lot of people can't. The thing is, Blizzard wants to milk that time spent doing this world quest content that way, so you're definitely going to come across some mechanics like that. You spend a lot of time killing, looking for stuff. Having said that, a majority of the world quests that you'll encounter are easy peasy. Just get there, show up, kill the guy, move on. So there's a good mix. And in terms of ratio of world quests I'd rather do, there's a lot. I would say 80% of them I don't mind repeating on a daily basis, in comparison to the two that I hated. So that is now done. I've got 18 minutes left before my Wii buff. So what do I do next? Stormsong's done, so I can now go to either Jusmel or go to Tiergarten Sound. Let me see if there's another Tortolan around. Yes, there is. He is in Tiergarten Sound, so we'll go do that first, because at the bottom here, oh, so close. So close. So the fastest way for me is either to flight path or go back to Borealis and fly there. So I'm going to go back to Borealis and fly. Let's scroll in chat some more. In fact, let me just move and see if there's anyone talking to me in-game or not. But yeah, I think Arv is in-game. Hey Arv, if you sent me a message, dude, I'm not checking in-game chat, sorry man, so... Feel free to just post it on the stream chat. I'm reading it out anyway. ggmyster says, I log in at 7 AM to do the emissary quest, then do all the champions of Azeroth, Torch, and 7 Legion. I go for the Azreck power. Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to have a specific system, right? For me, a few days in a week, I just log on and I see, all right, I'm just going to do everything start to finish. I do everything. I'm not like, optimizing or anything. I'm just doing everything because I've got the time to do it before my work day starts. So I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to do everything that's here. Okay, Tortolan first, again, like I said, because I'm so close to Pathfinder. It's the only one I need. Let's just try and hit that Vigil Hill, and then from there, we'll just move on east. Let's go. Okay, check in chat some more. Shagraf says to get 6 of... No, wait. Where am I? Check to get 6 of those job rates are atrocious for side quests. It's boring. Zelting says, the thing is I burned myself out at the start of Legion from the artifact power grind. I won't do the same mistake again. There will be catch-up mechanics soon anyway. Which is another great point that I brought up at the top of the stream. Where we're at now, I think this is week 3 now, or beginning week 4. My time zones, my timeline, sorry. Blizzard has already introduced the artifact knowledge catch-up mechanic, so those of you that are jumping in now, it's easier to get to where a lot of the player base are in terms of where we are. Some of us are already at like artifact power 22 or something like that, which is insane because since the expansion's gone live, I'm reviewing this not only for my channel but for work as well. So I put a lot of effort into my character here, and I'm at 19, very close to 20 now, and other people that are like 23 and 24, which is insane, very hard to get to. But so the new knowledge catch-up mechanic will try and get you up further to 10 and 12 faster, so that you're not going to be left behind when the raid or when Mythic Keystones comes out or whatever. So hey. But yeah, good on you, man. I totally feel ya, because like I said, I was so burned out. I thought I was going to be burned out with stuff like that. Truth is, it's a new expansion for me, and all of this, for those of you wondering, the entire new expansion experience for me is new, because I wasn't here when all the other expansions launched. I only started playing catch up, really. I played Legion for the review 6 months before, BFA, I started getting ready for BFA. That's how late to the party I was. And so this is fun for me, because now I am, ahead of the curve, so to speak, and able to see things from a different perspective. the World of Warcraft endgame, what the community is like, what the mindset is like, what are people preparing for, and what's the vibe around now that we got the bulk of the expansion done. What should we focus on in terms of content? So I get to see that now, being a WoW player, and I understand a lot more. A few videos on that I will make, do not worry, because I don't want to get my thoughts jumbled up in stream. Arv says the Horde version is called Honor-Bound. There we go. Thank you very much, Arv. Yeah, it's Honor-Bound. So 7 Legion for the Alliance, Honor-Bound for the Horde side. Shagor says, for example, for FF4T, drop rate for solo quest is 100%, 6 mobs, 6 belts, and there you go. And that is awesome. That's what I like. Okay, let's go do this one. This one is called Beached, and Beached is one of the most popular world quests that you'll probably have heard of, because this Sage Scrolla, whatever her name is, Nola, she says the iconic line, "The turtle made it to the water." Whenever you save turtles, this is basically getting into this bunker cannon thing, and then you got to shoot down these birds and kill these armored crabs here, so that these little turtles can make it to the water. This one, a lot of my friends, a lot of my guildies absolutely hate the turtle stuff quests. For me personally, these things, you can do them with your eyes closed, and because you get well, I'm a human, so I get 192 rep from one of these turtle or champion. There we go. I get a lot of stuff from these world quests, so just do it. I can understand if you're frustrated with the sound in the background, then turn off the dialogue for a bit if you really are annoyed. For me, I just find it funny that this has become such a meme. I hate using the bloody word meme because I'm too old for that shit, but it's become this thing of its own where people think of the BFA expansion and they think of this particular quest, which in all honesty isn't even great, to be honest with, because it uses mechanics that we've already seen in the past. You get in tanks and you shoot tanks, you get on dragons and you fire your dragon breath or whatever. You've all seen this before. It's nothing new. It's just that if you're not aiming properly, like at the bird here, you notice that I have to do a very specific aim to get the trajectory right. Because sometimes you can go too high and you think you've got the spot, but in fact you need to look out for that. See, you could do this. You can make a mistake by doing this, where you think your ball is right on it, but it's not. So you gotta play around with your aiming and get that right. For those that feel that this was a difficult quest. How close am I? Oh, 900 to go. I don't think I'll get it tonight. I don't think I'll get Pathfinder tonight, unless of course if I keep playing after the reset. So I'm gonna make my way east now, and we're going into Freehold. Freehold is great. Okay, let's just take a flight path to Freehold, and we'll do some Freehold stuff. The one thing that's missing from today's list of world quests are actually dungeon world quests, which happens as well. So I'll give you guys just a rundown for those that do not play WoW. All these are normal world quests you see in the world. If there's a golden button around it, that means that it is for the daily emissary. Complete 4 quests for the emissary, you'll get bonus XP wrap, bonus wrap with that faction, in addition to a nice sweet reward. The one with the golden dragon thing surrounding that, it means it's an elite world quest. So it's a hard fight. It's going to be a boss of some sort. You're going to need a group at least, or a small group, to get that done. There's a smaller version of that as well, which you can solo, like these blue stuff. If it's just normal blue, you can solo them pretty fine. These royal blue stuff, they have about 3 million, 4 million health, whereas your normal blue elite mob will only have like 400,000 HP max, so you can definitely solo that. And then there's going to be dungeons as well, but I do not see a dungeon world quest today, so hey. Okay, let's go. Freehold.
Any rumors on the wind?
And let's check in chat. ggmyster says, "Oh, I solo elite world quest. Did I tell you I'm a hunter?" Hunters can do that. You could just send off your pat to face tank the enemy, and then just go pew pew pew. We got Robbie Shoe says, "Why do you pick up each water bucket? Rude." Robbie Shoe says, "Do you ever quest as Prot?" I tried questing as Prot, but I just didn't. I didn't enjoy it. I prefer the the quickness of the DPS and haste that I get being in Ret. So I most of the time I'm in Ret. And again, sorry guys, I am just way behind on chat. But there's something I gotta do real quick. Hang on a sec. There's... Oh yeah, I'm way behind in chat. But the first thing I need to do is get rid of assholes. Okay, if anybody was getting offended by some jackass out there in chat, just calling people out, he's now gone. Let us now continue questing in here. What do we got? Carla Smirk. This Carla Smirk, I'm trying to think of where she is. Oh, bugger. Stream problems. Forgot to buff myself. Carla Smirk. Yeah, I'm trying to remember Carla Smirk. I can't. So I'm just gonna go run through it. Freehold is this pirate booty bay area, which is just packed with mobs of all kinds, and these guys will hit hard if you're not geared and you come here. This, in fact, is part of the dungeon as well, the Freehold dungeon, which is a blast. I like it a lot. But it's definitely not my favorite dungeon. I'll talk about my favorite dungeons in the dungeon video that was supposed to come out this weekend, but I fucked up. I screwed up there. I made a mistake on video. I haven't got the time to render again. So while we're at it, what's your favorite dungeon, guys? For those of you that have done everything.
A pirate.
Okay, check in the chat some more. Robbie Show says the story is they are a bunch of jerks and they burn everything. ggmyster says you were playing yesterday and I didn't realize your pet died. Pff, easy, you say. Pet died. Hey, unlike you that have been playing the Hunter for so long, that was my first day playing Hunter. So if you're gonna judge somebody on the first day they play something, that speaks a lot about you, bro. But so far in that one day I played the Hunter, it's easy. The Hunter is ridiculously easy because you can Hunters. You come at me all you want, you know, but you guys and your pet mechanic is a great mechanic, you know, for soloers. But not only that, they also give you a lot of flexibility and you know, very competitive DPS in mythic dungeons. At least from my observation. And I've run a shit ton of mythic dungeons now. Trust me on that. So I've seen what Hunters can do. And I've seen what, you know, top whatever can do. Pallies, demon hunters. A lot of people don't play shaman with DPS. Like on all my bugs for mythics, I've not seen a shaman DPS that was an Ellie because it's gimped at the moment. But hey, if you know your class well and you're geared, you are as viable as the next guy, you know. So I'm a big advocate of play whatever you want, as long as, you know, you're not stopping others from enjoying the content that they're playing with you. So if you know that you're not geared or you're, you know, not helping out the group in the way you thought, then yeah, maybe take a look at what you're doing wrong. But other than that, play whatever you want. If it works, it works, man. Squax. Let's go do Squax. I think he's across the bridge on the other side. Bridge is up there and I just fell down from it. Okay, scrolling down some more, we got Faramir says, do you agree with flying being blocked behind Pathfinder? Great question, Faramir. Hey, sorry again that I'm getting to you guys' chat really late. Flying, I am spoiled because as a new player to WoW, and when I keep saying this, people keep saying, no, you're not a new player to WoW. In comparison to those that played for 10 years, I started in December last year. So when you look at that, I am a new player to WoW. And I had flying given to me on a platter, right? I didn't have to work for it, like a lot of people had to over the years. So it was given to me. It was a given. I thought, okay, at a certain level, you unlock flying, and it's easy peasy. I got to, you know, the expansions. I could fly. I got to Pandaria. I could fly, and then came WoD and Legion, and that's when I started to feel like,
a pirate.
This is kind of odd, you know. To me, honestly, at the very start of Draenor, I think if you go back and rewatch my stream, because I talked about it a lot during my review process of just, I think flying at the very beginning, you know, shouldn't be. It should be the same. Whereas you could fly without Pathfinder, you could fly, but at a very slower speed, like how you would whenever you had to tier up, you know, Master Flyer or whatever. I thought at least that was going to be a good system that doesn't feel, you know, penalizing or whatever. But then I realized that, oh yeah, WoD and Legion, you just don't get it at all. You just have to you know, suck it up and grind out the pathfinding. At the end of the day, having done the Legion without flying, I still haven't unlocked pathfinding for Legion, by the way. I still haven't. I feel more comfortable. I feel okay running around Legion on land. Like, to me, it doesn't matter anymore because I've done the content over, and it's obsolete to a point where I'm like, I don't care. Flying or not, I don't care. But in BFA, putting it behind Pathfinder, I think it sort of works, especially if you are a current player and you're always keeping up with the content release. If you're a returning player, you'll definitely feel like, I'm getting the short end of the stick here, you know? Because there's just so much I have to do to catch up to people. And if you left before WoD and Legion and you came back after, I think Blizzard should at least make the Pathfinders of the previous expansion a little easier for returning players or new players to try and catch up with. You know, because no one's there grinding content anymore, even though WoW has, well, I don't want to throw player-based numbers out there, but, you know, there's always people playing at a certain expansion. But I think older Pathfinders should be easier to get now, and if you just make the current expansion Pathfinder the thing to grind for, then at least when we do get it, it's rewarding. So that's what I feel about it at the moment. I think that, you know, I know this is going to be my first Pathfinder and flying in an expansion, and I know it's going to be worth it for me because I put in the effort. I'm here every day. I'm on daily grinding shit, doing it like every WoW player would be doing the first few days or weeks of an expansion, just to get the experience for myself, and I can share that off with you guys through videos. And I will tell you now, when I unlock pathfinding and flying, I will say I worked hard for it. It was worth it. So in that regard, you know, I can agree with flying, at least for the current expansion, being put behind a grind wall, so to speak, or rep wall, because for those that don't know what, or if you're hearing pathfinding for the first time and you're haven't played WoW or something like that, let me just show you what it is. So, Battle for Azeroth Pathfinder Part 1. This are a series of achievements and completions and stuff that you need to do in order to unlock flying later on. There's a Part 2 too. So the first one is Battle for Azeroth Explorer. So you need to explore all the areas in the expansion. That means the 3, Terragard Sound, Stormsong Valley, Drusvar, then the Horde side, Nazmir, Vol'dun, and Zuldazar. All of them. So that means going to all the individual locations and doing this. This is easy, especially if you're questing. Next up, Wide World of Quests. This, if you're like me, you can get on and you can do your quest. You can hit this within a week. Just do 100 different world quests, and this is done. Next one, Ready for War. This one is a bit harder because you need to complete the war campaign for Kultiras and Zandalar. I mean, you only do it for one faction, the one that you're playing. So if you're an Alliance character, you just do the Alliance stuff and you don't have to worry about logging onto the Horde side and doing the Horde side. You don't need to do that. So this includes all the campaign chapters, and then, you know, you're done. So this one is a little hard because if you're a casual player, you don't have time. There's going to be some of them that's going to be gated behind rep. So to hit like chapter 3, you needed about 6,000 or 3,000 rep into 7th Legion or whatever. Then you got to hit Revered to unlock the final chapter. So there's a lot of gating in between. So this one is a little difficult. And then Kulturist. This one is simple. Just complete all the zone stories in Kultiras if you're Alliance, or in Zandalar if you're Horde. That's it. And the final one is the most PETA one. This one is just a rep. So you're going to need to hit Revered with all of the rep in game. This one is the one that's going to take the longest because, like somebody earlier was saying, they only do specific factions and they couldn't care less about the others. But if you do want to fly in the new expansions, you're going to have to hit Revered with all of them. And I'm just thankful it's not Exalted, because if it's Exalted, then I would definitely say, fuck this. I'm not doing it, because it's just too long. 7th Legion was easy to get Exalted because, as an Alliance player on the Horde site, all those world quests are for the 7th Legion. Whereas on your own continent, it's split between the 3. You have the 3 different factions to quest for. So you get 4 world quests per day for each faction. On the Horde side, it's just 7th Legion all the way. You don't have to split that with anybody else. So that's why it's easier to get Exalted with 7. It's just the rest that's going to take a while to get Revered, especially the turtle buggers. These guys you only get maximum 4 quests a day, so that's what's taking so long. So is Pathfinder Part 1 easier to get or whatever? How much time do you have to play, really, honestly? Your self-discipline, if you can afford to play every day, I think you should be able to. So don't worry about it too much. And the thing is, people are like, I need to get this, I need to get this. There's no rush to get it, guys, because Pathfinder Part 2 is going to be coming a long time after this. Maybe sometime next year is what I've been told. because there was a, like Legion for example. I wasn't here when Legion came, right? So Pathfinder Part 1 came out with the expansion launch, and then you had to wait until the Legion Fall campaign started, which introduced the Broken Shores, I think. I could be wrong. But yeah, there was definitely a long period between Pathfinder 1 and 2. So if you feel like I need to get this now, but I'm so burned out, don't rush it. Relax. You have a long time before the next part comes out. Again, for me, I'm doing it now because I will definitely at some point this year take a break from WoW, go review other MMOs like I've always done here on my channel, and then come back when there's something new to do. Okay, that was a very long answer, wasn't it? Let's go on and check in chat because I am just so behind on everybody. I apologize if I don't get to your chat, alright? We got Kirill. Hello, Kirill, one of my patrons. Awesome. He says, world quests are fun the first time you do them. That's a very good point, and one that is shared by many, especially the ones that you know are the grindiest ones, or the ones that you know are, like I said earlier, the ones that just makes you stay there the longest. You do them once and then you're like, I'm gonna hate coming back here. So yeah, I feel you. Rabishu says, I like the idea of World Quest, but I think Guild Wars 2 did a better job of implementing zone-wide events that happen all day long. The only problem was the hours and rotations of the events and when it happened. Interesting point. I knew when I brought up that question, I knew there was going to be Guild Wars stuff coming in because of their organic landscape content, which is something that I can agree with, being a Guild Wars 2 player. I know what you're talking about in terms of having events spawn at different timers. Bosses are always on timers, and they feel more dynamic, whereas World Quests, and this is not a criticism of the system in general, but this is a observation and more of a fact really, is that World Quests are so scripted in a way that there's not a big opportunity. The only diversity in World Quests is that they rotate. That's about it. But they're all still scripted, like every other MMO out there that has quests of this variety will be scripted, and that includes Guild Wars 2. While the world events and world bosses and all those are great, and I love them because they're dynamic, but again, it is scripted. The only thing that differentiates your experience every time you run them is the people, number one, who you run them with, and how seamlessly that Guild Wars 2 can put players together to do one of these world quests, and the outcome may be different. World Quest doesn't have that sort of flexibility to be that. So that's an interesting point that you bring up. Thank you, Rabishu. Awesome. What else? Kirill says, once you start leveling alts, they become boring, and that's something I'm not looking forward to. I am not going to be doing world quests on my alt. I don't think so. Even though I know when I get to 120 on my Dark Iron Dwarf, I know world quests will be definitely unlocked, but yeah, I'm not going to do it. Alright, for this world quest, this is another Azerite one. And remember earlier I was saying there were a few different Azerite world quests. The ones that you have to kill and suck up the essence was, to me, the most boring one, because it really depends on what's around you, if it's horde or not. This one is this is a good one, because all you gotta do is kill stuff in the area, and if the horde is here, then you can just click on those Azerite node clusters there and not have to worry about spending too much time in here. So just like that. So this one's gonna give you like 5, 11. There are bigger ones like that in the back. You can see that big one there is what you really wanted to get. And the final one that we haven't seen yet, which I suspect we will definitely see when we move over to the horde site, is just cleansing an area. So there's going to be 5 spots on the ground, and you stand over it and just, suck up the Azerite. That's the easiest one. This one's pretty good too. Stress-free. Walk in a cave, do what you gotta do, and get out. So this should definitely... Oh, it should not, because the enemies just respawn. And the cool thing about this one is, like, if a horde player picks up or he uses the Azerite cluster, it's not gonna go away. It's not like a one-time use. You can still click on it. Damn it, doggy. Die, doggy. Who's shooting? Oh, the Fusilier. Is he active? Yeah, he's active. He's shooting at me. I'm like, what's shooting? Wow, that was some quick respawn. Alright. I don't even see a lot of people in this cave. That is some quick respawn. So this is where any hunters still here? This is where hunters would be great because their pet will tank everything, and then I will just go pick it up. Oh, there we go. Heart of Azeroth, level 20. Okay, first things first. Let me get out of here. If the respawn is gonna be that fast, then I definitely want to get out of here. Okay. Alright, let's see what we can do. My headpiece is definitely getting an upgrade there. At the same time, let me just check my eye level real quick. Don't think that gone up. No, you only get the eye level increase whenever you hit a new reputation tier with Champions of Azeroth. So, but yeah, pretty cool. That was one of the requirements for my guild too, in terms of rating. You need to be eye level 340. And at the same time, have about a level 20 Heart of Azeroth. Simply because, you know, the more higher eye level gear that you pick up for your rating or whatever, especially these purples and stuff, it's gonna be, they have more power, more rings to pick from, and some of them go up to like level 27, which is nuts. And this is not the end of it, because I've looked at some of the stuff that, you know, will probably drop from Old Deer. You're gonna get a lot more tiers, so stock up on that. For those of you that are endgame, all those hardcore people or whatever, I don't even think they watch my stuff, but so there's no point saying it anyway because they're busy doing what they're doing. But you definitely want to get your Heart of Azeroth as high up there as possible. So let's take a look at this more closer now. And again, whatever you pick for this, it's not set in stone, it's not final, because you can go back to Borealis, or, you know, if you're Horde, you can go back to wherever and reset this for cheap. The first few times a week you do is cheap, then the more times you reset it, the cost rises until the weekly reset, and then it comes down cheap again. So for this one, in passive Visage, when you take damage, heal for 3k every time you take damage. Only happens once every 6 seconds. The other one is Stalwart Protector. When you cast Divine Shield. What? Grant for... yeah, so that's pretty handy for Mythics. This is pretty handy for whatever, honestly. I mean, it's not great. Like, I usually have Icy Veins, and a lot of people debate this. Who's better? Which guide, WoW site you use for better information? For me, especially with Paladins, is Icy Veins, because they've never let me astray in terms of what I need to do, what I need to get in my kind of like a rotation headspace. Icy Veins is my, you know, choice of guide, and these two are definitely not up there in terms of some of the best Pally Azreck traits, unfortunately. So it's the luck of the draw, which is why you want to keep running World Quests and keep running Mythic Dungeons. Even if you get a nice, you know, 340 Mythic Helm and you think, I'm set, I'm done until the raid comes out, I would encourage you to keep running them just to get a good mix of these traits on the armor that you get, because you never know when something awesome drops, you know. Like, I struggle a lot. If you look at my bags, I have 3 variations of 340 Mythic Shoulders, which I talked about in a video earlier this week, where I said, you know, my luck with RG sucks, but none of them have the traits that I want. So while you may have seen me already use some of them, this is not what I want to ideally, you know, give my Pally the best chance for DPS as possible. So I would definitely say keep running Mythics, or any dungeons, in fact, Heroics or whatever, if that's what you want to do, to get the best traits for you. Adara the White is the last one here, I believe, and then we can go up north and finish that up before moving on to Drustvar. Am I still good for time? Yes, I'm still good for time. I've got an hour and a half before reset, and I'm trying to finish all of this before... oh, I didn't pick a power. I'm gonna go with the heal one, because at the moment, for heals, I'm using Word of Glory, and a big shout out to Tom 3 Kings, for you know, showing me the benefit of Word of Glory, and I love that so much, especially in clutch moments, you know, healers down, you and the tank are the last one meleeing the boss. there was this fight where me and one more DPS, we were the last two in Siege of Borealis, knocking away at the last grip. For those of you that have done Siege of Borealis final boss, you guys know what I'm talking about. The last grip, all you had to do was DPS the last grip and then shoot the cannon once it's fixed, and that's it. You've done the mythic. And me and another was the last one. And, you know, I couldn't stop to start casting my Flash of Light because that just took away my DPS from the whole thing. So we were both so close to death, and I used my Wake of Ashes to get my Word of Power up, my Holy Power, and then boom, boom, Word of Glory, and that kept us up long enough to kill the last grip and win the fight. That is a clutch heal, and I mean, if you know me from my Lotro days or whatever, playing a captain, I love that sort of shit. Clutch heals, bubbles, which is, you know, somebody asked me on stream, why do you pick a paladin, one of the most crappy classes or whatever. I'm like, hey dude, play what you want, but this is my favorite archetype, and that heal skill is something that I'm very familiar with from other MMOs that have classes like that, so I'm pretty happy about that. Alright, let's scroll down some more. Rubbish is overall more engaging than a few repeating kill quests.
I recognize that guy.
This one is Adara White. Oh, 1.64 million. So this is one of those situations where, you know, if you are a paladin, for example, I could now go into Prot and, you know, tank this person, or I could solo this Adara White and probably kill her. The other thing you can do, now this is something that I'm not sure of, is whether or not this tool comes from the add-on that I have, or is it a Blizzard default. So when you click on this thing, it immediately lets you either find a group of people who are doing this quest, or you can start a group, you know, for this particular quest. So if there's anybody around here that feel like, oh, I can't solo Darren White who has like 1,000,004 HP or whatever, then people will look for a group about this quest. So the only thing I want to know, because I'm not sure about this, is this little button down here, this find group. Is this part of my World Quest add-on? Because there are some add-ons that automatically lets you find a group for group situations like this. In fact, I don't even need to, because we have Innuendo here, so that's good enough. It's good enough. We can take on this Dara White, who is a hard fight. I remember her fireballs and stuff will be really, really painful. And this is a very much a movement boss, like that one. You can, I think you can attempt to stun her. No, she's immune. She's immune to my heart stun. So that is a no.
I need to get closer.
Oh boy. How much do I have here? Okay, let's get some Word of Glories going. There we go. It's a pretty big heal, that one. Keep moving. Just keep moving. How's my Wake of Ashes going? Interrupt. There we go. My pally interrupts are like 8 seconds, I believe, which is pretty fast in comparison to other DPS. Meltdown! Oh, bugger! Do a quick heal. What am I doing for haste? I gotta keep refreshing my Inquisition too, which is really handy for keeping DPS up. So this is one of the fun ones, because this is not your ordinary oh, just kill a boss, whatever, move on. This is a pretty challenging fight that kind of requires you to play with others, or if you're in a pug that's nearby, that's great. Oh, bugger! Word of Glory is now off CD. Let's go ahead and use that real quick. So we have a prot tank now in the area. Firestorm. That's the one you can't interrupt, so you're definitely gonna have to do the dance here, which could be fun. My Wii buff is over. I just realized your party is full. All right, let's convert that to a raid. But now we are in a raid, so more people can come and join. And the cool thing with WoW, I think I've said this many times, is the phasing or the zoning effect that happens. People that join your party, whatever, can instantly zone over to the instance that you're on and immediately join the fight. Am I off cooldown there? I'm off cooldown. Great. Okay, let's go. Let's go balls to the wall, baby. What happened to that prot tank? I'm taking to that. And I know my UI looks like a clusterfuck right now, but trust me, the information is for me to read, because this is how I absorb my class information. so I know what I'm doing. I know what's going on, but I know it looks confusing as hell for the rest of you. Bear with me, guys. Oh man! Wow. So here's the thing that you need to know: it scales. Fights like this definitely scale. I think with the amount of people that's in the area, because that fireball now. Oh, there we go. She's dead.
Some have told Tagor's inmates were in there for a reason.
So you just saw how everybody started phasing in. When I created the party and converted that to a raid, everybody came to my instance or my phase of the map. And oh, we got a DK that's dead somewhere. Here, I'll be the nice guy and pick him up. So yeah, that was pretty fun, and it definitely felt like the difficulty kind of scaled up too. Like, you know, you saw the fireballs going all over the place. This style of World Quest is pretty fun because, you know, it relies on having quite a bunch of people and stuff. So I will now get out of here, and the raid leader will get chosen automatically. But I've done some good today by creating a group, and what usually happens on a prime night is the group will continue to live on throughout the night. So every time a group is done, they'll leave at the same time. New players are joining that party because I put that up there on the LFG, and people are joining the fight. And when they zone in, the boss is already dead. So that means the party is still there waiting for the next one to spawn. So it's a continuous cycle. On prime time, you'll always find a group like that, you know, on. And you look at how fast that boss spawned too. So with how Blizzard or how WoW handles like Elite Boss World Quest is really well done, because in other games, I can already imagine the amount of shit that will happen. No players on prime time. Very hard to find a group. You have to chat it up. You have to, you know, use chat to find people. For this style World Quest, this is where I think Blizzard has the advantage, where their technology is able to, you know, keep it going as smooth as possible. So even on not a prime night or whatever, you can still find people to run that quest. This is not like a server-wide quest. Everybody in my raid came from everywhere: Frostmourne, Sargeras, whatever the servers out there. So that's pretty cool with Blizzard's phasing technology there. Okay, and with that, 2 more quests, and then I'm off. Going back to Stormwind. Let's get the buff again, and let's go do some more. I really hope I can make the reset. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Usually, God damn, what am I doing? I should just fight master it. Usually, when I'm doing this on my own without streaming, guys, what time did I start? 2 hours ago? I would have been done with tonight's World Quest. I would have been done. But the fact is, and this is gonna be true for everybody, especially if you know your, you know, if you watch a lot of streamers, you probably will know that streaming and playing, you sometimes, you know, lose your focus and you take a lot more time to do things. So what's this one? Oh, I hate this one. This one's getting on the horse. Okay, I'll show this real quick, because this is also another one of those World Quests that just really pisses me off. Because it's more of the mechanics sucking rather than it being fun. The concept is cool because you gotta ride a horse, and then you gotta do these I don't know the term of it, because we don't have it in my country, where, you know, it's a sport where you get on a horse and you jump over barricades, you know, and judges score you based on your skill of riding the horse. I forgot what the sport is called, but we don't have it down here, or it's not popular enough. But this is what you got to do, and you got to earn points. And while I like the idea, the execution of the system itself sucks. It's just horrible. I don't like it. Alright, let's move on, chat some more. ggmyster says they need to introduce more gold earning from World Quest, like maybe a way to refresh your World Quest just to earn gold. I run on World Quest and more gold would be good. That's a good point. Somewhere, I read about it's harder now to make gold in World of Warcraft than it has ever been. In comparison, I think in Warlords of Draenor, if you had 10 alts at the cap, and each of them, all your 10 alts, have a garrison, that is a great money-making machine. So if there are World Quests to bring back 100 gold, for example, and you do that every day on all your 10 alts, that's 1,000 gold. In addition to what you do for crafting and selling mats and blah blah blah. And making gold is pretty easy in comparison. That's what I've been told. I don't know, because I'm not farming for gold. I have, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of gold, so when I absolutely need gold, you can already guess what I do for gold. I'm embarrassed even saying it, but I buy WoW token. when I'm absolutely desperate.
Begin!
Okay, so this is this world quest. You got to go up to like stuff like this and hit them and miss, and then jump over barricades for points, and then yeah, so that's 5 points, 3 points. You get more points if you do something fancy like jumping over a barricade and hitting that thing. And once in a while, some zeppelins will come in the sky. Then, there we go. So you got to aim for that, and then hit the 4 button to throw a slingshot at it to score like 50 points or whatever. And the goal is to hit what, 300 points before that timer runs out. And because jumping in WoW is horrible for starters, mounting and jumping and pressing an attack button is not great either. You know what I mean? It's like they're kind of testing the waters with mounted combat a little bit here. I mean, that's what I feel. But this is just bullshit, man. This is terrible. I just can't get to cruise with this, because when you come here and you hit it, look, I'm right in front of it, and when I hit it the first time, it didn't strike. So what's the factor here? What am I doing wrong with that? Look. Okay, I got too far that time. Let me do a practice run. Okay, now everything's going right. Okay, here. I'm gonna hit it as I run through it. Let's practice it. Let's do it live together in stream. Oh look, my Azerite armor power is still dropping, even though I'm not in combat. Okay, so running and hitting as I hit the barrel seems to be working. Oh, no, I missed that one. And again. I hit it that time, but you see where I'm coming from? This is fucked up. Missed. Oh, you fucking shit. Alright, let's do this one more time.
Ready?
If I fucked up, I'm just moving on. Go! Begin. Yeah! Missed. Like a Gonna keep my cool here. Son of a bitch! Alright, I definitely lost my cool now. I practiced this and you saw that... Zeppelin! Where? Nope, not doing it. Not doing it. Let's just move on. Let's go to another quest. This is one I will definitely avoid, and this is Proudmoore Admiralty, right? I'll take my time with this, buggers. Next up, Purge the Corruption. Let's go and do that instead. I guarantee you, if you got the hang of that, great. Good for you. I don't think I ever will. That's just ridiculous. I can't do it. The mount system and trying to combat on the mount here is not... It's not like a snap-on thing where you definitely feel the weight and it's easy to know what you're hitting and stuff. Ahoy. Back there, and I guarantee you, if you haven't done that world quest before, log in today and go do it, because you'll see what I mean. Most of the time, you don't know the dimensions, whether you're hitting the right thing or not, and then you have to practice and learn what the trick is. Is it hitting the button as you're running through it, or in front of it, or... This is gonna take a long time before I master that, and honestly, I don't even give a shit about it. Like, there's other world quests that are definitely better to do, so I'm gonna ignore that for now. All right, let's check in on chat real quick. ggmyster says I only go for the big ones when doing the Azerite World Quest. He says I think the big ones are open tapping. I think all of them are open tapping. If we're talking about that way back there. Igor says, Blizzard said in a Q&A, you do not have them. If you do not like, I do not farm them. Upgrades to artifact weapon and legendary cannot compare them. So for me, I do not do them very much. Good point. So much is going to log into WoW in case World Quest refresh. The reset is in 1 hour for me, so depending on when you log in, you're definitely going to get some new quests. So this one is pretty simple, just purging corruption in the bay. I don't think I showed this part off on stream, but this part is really, really fun because I don't want to spoil anything, but you know, the expansion's been out for quite some time now, and this fight was fun because the story in the area was a big Cthulhu-like creature that is sort of related to, you know, the zone story and Ajar and everything attacks this area. And it's awesome. I like it. It's pretty awesome. A big kraken. So in terms of what this quest means to the story. You're just going down and purging the corruption, because these things are the eggs of those squid things that I think I showed off on stream a little bit, which are pretty fun. It's kind of why I said that, you know, a lot of the Alliance areas here, while may not be as aesthetically cool as the Horde zones, as somebody who, you know, I watch a lot, I read a lot of Lovecraft and, you know, Stephen King and all that stuff, you can definitely see that sort of influence here, which I really, really like. Especially when you blend that together with WoW. I think it's pretty cool. Okay, where are we? Killing this big guy is pretty good. He gives you the most ones. And let's go do some eggs. You'll find lots of eggs in the area, so it's just a matter of killing them. Like this big guy here, he'll definitely be enough to take me past the line.
The waters breathe a sigh of relief.
Done and done.
You have assuaged their pain.
The thing about completing the soul story in this area is that you will get a permanent benefit. So Favor of the Sea is what I get here, because you finished the entire quest line in this area, right? Every time you come back here and you do this quest on the water, you will gain a benefit to speed increase down here, which is kind of why I'm swimming really fast, and I can walk on water pretty fast and everything. So with that out of the way, I'm gonna go back. Oh shit, yeah, it's telling me 1 hour left. So I think what I'm definitely going to do is I will quickly pick up the 4 quests in Trustvar, and then I'll quickly go to Zandalar and do my Torlin quests before the reset. Because at the rate I'm going, you know, talking to guys in chat and everything, I'm definitely gonna miss that deadline. And I prepared for it earlier, you know. If you guys know, I usually start streaming at 9 PM my time, which about an hour ago, and I started at 8:20 my time, because I knew that even though it's only going to take me an hour, if I weren't streaming to finish the world quest, I knew I'm going to be talking a lot and answering a lot of questions. So, alright, ggmyster says, I hate this quest. The gulls, the fucking gulls. Oh man, so that's where you guys are right now. Gosh. Shagorov says, but still, even with those little issues with fetch quests, I still love and adore WoW, even after 12 years. It has that great atmosphere, goofy dialogues which really suit the game. Also, zones are beautiful and fun to explore, and the game is really polished in terms of performance. There you go. Shagorov has you know, said that really well, I think. And that's from a long time of playing the game. I think the key points that Shag mentioned there, I'm not sure if you're still here, Shag, because I'm so behind on stream chat right now. But you know, just to follow up on what you said, I think there's a lot of things there that you mentioned that hit the nail on the head in terms of how do you describe WoW. I know people that don't play WoW personally will have attacked me for giving WoW coverage, because their argument is WoW doesn't need the coverage, and secondly, you know, it looks like shit because the graphics are cartoony and old. Oh damn it, I made a mistake. I got in the wrong mount. You know, there's always going to be people like that, but that's one of the important things, the distinction you made there, is that cartoony style almost. It's if you people who play the Warcraft games in the past, those RTS games, it immediately latches onto you that that's the sort of artistic design that they've gone for. The early Dota games and stuff have that. And you do see that it's a WoW thing, you know, and other games have tried to copy it or are influenced by it, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you do not like the graphics at this point, you know, how many years after release, then you will never like it. There's no point trying to force yourself to play a game that the graphics, if you stop at graphics, I mean, I'm not going to judge you on how you play your MMOs or what's important to you, but if graphics is all you judge an MMO by, can't help you. And you won't see me make reviews. Graphics is an important part for a lot of people when they play the game over a long period to try and, you know, okay, the mechanics are fun, these are great, but it shouldn't be the only thing that's gating your fun factor in an MMO. If you stop short at graphics, I can't help you, because there's so much more beyond that, you know, the story, the mechanics, the PvP, there's so much more you will never get into if you just can't get by that graphics thing. And at the same time, I know it's chronic for a lot of people, because that's how they feel, like, can't get out of the graphics, can't play it. I'm like, come on, man, just play it for another week, just give it a shot. You know, so I'm always having that sort of argument with some people.
Travel safe.
About graphics being the be-all, end-all. I mean, especially with BDO too. Like recently, BDO had the remastered, which, by the way, I'm going to have to play this week for work. I'm going to be jumping into BDO. I may make a video about that, you know, because for work, well, I guess I'll just say this. I work for another MMO content site, and they have a YouTube channel, and I make videos there as well. So there's usually, I do not create the same video for both channels because that is a, you know, conflict of interest or whatever. So, but you know, when I jump into video for work, I can at least make a separate video, but sharing this similar experience. So I'm thinking of doing that. But my point was, BDO had that remaster recently, where, you know, it's all about graphics, and the first thing is, you know, the player base is split. Like, people are like, oh great, more graphics, good, we're gonna be the best looking game. But then I would say 50% of the player base are like, this is BS, because the developers, there's so much more mechanics and systems and content that needs to improve, or needs to be improved first before you even start thinking about graphics, you know. So there's a whole topic we can get into there, which I've already spent way too much time talking about. Let's scroll down some more. ggmyster says, Elite, you need a group or at least 2 BM hunters. There you go again, bringing up the hunter thing. Hey, if I get my hunter up to like 120, and if I get to like level stuff, I'm gonna have a stream where I solo everything as a hunter. I'm sure it can be done, because my hunter that I've been playing right now, I'm using a ferocity pet. I think it's ferocity. So I tamed a devil soar who has the primal, primal something, that he's also got leech, and I can pull a shit ton of mobs in the BFA zones and just go to town, and the T-Rex will survive almost anything you could throw at it. So I may have another stream or something just showing off my BFA leveling on the hunter, but I don't want to promise anything because I still have to show off the horde site leveling and stuff. There's a lot that I've got to do. Rabbitsu says, you gotta play around with prod questing. You get 10ish mobs and mow them down. I find it a little slow though for me, because I do not have a good one-handed sword. No, I don't have a shield, that is. Let me just check. I mean, I did get something. I got this from one of the emissaries. This is a 340 solo one, and then I have a 310 shield, so I don't really have a good shield. The thing is, I've got my blacksmithing up, so I could craft a better shield. No, it's still 310. And yeah, so the shield is the only thing I'm missing. But in terms of DPS, I kill things faster in Rat anyway, and I can definitely handle, well, 10 mobs. Never tried that, but I can handle a fair few, and it just make sure that my Word of Glory is off cooldown. All right, scrolling down some more. I'm just gonna try and catch up. At this point, I don't think I'm catching up with everybody. I'm so far behind now. I'm just gonna read what I can. Zelton says, I'm just sad that there's no drunk Flynn Farrowin escort quest. Oh, right. So there's this quest line in Turgard Sound where you had to rescue Flynn, and he's drunk, he's piss drunk, and you know, he goes around in circles without realizing, and then he says some of the craziest, funniest stuff. And this is where I'll say again that, you know, I feel like Flynn, for those that don't know, is, to me at least, kind of influenced by Captain Jack Sparrow a little bit of the Pirates of the Caribbean. You can see the way, the style that he talks, you know, the accent and everything. Okay, real quick, let's do 4 that are nearby. 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th we could just fly to the chapel or something. Alright, good, let's go. I'm just gonna get the emissary done, and then I'm going off to the horde zones because I have less than an hour to do the 2 tournament quests and show off some horde zone stuff. Scrolling down some more. Elseworlds. Hello, Elseworlds says, I'm sad that Enhancement Shaman isn't fun to me anymore. I miss the way it used to play and can't enjoy the game anymore without that class design. Oh boy. I feel you, I feel you. Anytime a game or your favorite class is affected in game by some sort of I don't know, update or stuff like that, I know how that feels like. I think we've all been through it, right? We've had that one class that we played for so long, and then something happens to it, you know, they get nerfed, or, you know, it's gimped, or something crappy happens, and you're like, I can't play this anymore. I've been there with Lotro a fair few times. I'm sure you guys in here, wow, over so many years, I'm sure you guys have jumped classes many times because of that. So I feel you. Hopefully you'll get better now. I remembered that, what was it? Druids. My friends were talking about it a lot, like feral druids coming into BFA were very gimped, and recently Blizzard put out a change, something about feral druids, but I don't know whether it made them, got them back to the point where they're okay again or not. But there's a reason some of my friends wanted to play druids this expansion, but in the end ended up picking Hunter. And yeah, so I know what you're saying there. Oh, Betsy! Oh, okay, Betsy is this pig over here, which is just a simple elite that you can just kill off real quick.
Scouts have reported a dangerous enemy is lurking nearby. Take it out.
God.
The people of Trustbar are grateful for your help.
Okay, easy peasy, and as soon as you do one of those emissaries, you'll see a tick there, so that's one down. The race is on, folks. The race is on. There's one for Champions of Azeroth too, and this one is, where is this at? Oh, bugger, it's on the other side, and this one is Rodbow. Yeah, I'm definitely going to want to do that, though. Champions of Azeroth for the rep, definitely. So let's go ahead and finish up the Lesser Effigy and stuff up here, and then we'll move on. Okay, scrolling in chat some more. ggmyster says, I'm 1005 to go on Torch. Stupid turtles. Nice. The thing is, if Emissary reset is in an hour, right? So if tonight, in an hour, if I do get total on Emissary, I'll be like, yay! Just what I needed.
The wildlife in these hills has been enthralled.
So
by
pray,
the
pray,
witch's
man.
curse.
Pray that tomorrow's
Put an end to
emissary
this
will be
before they
Torlin.
reach the town.
Okay, what are these? Just clicky. Alright, just clicky stuff. No big deal. I can check it in chat. Let's go some more. I played 3 hours in the morning and then helped the guild with mythics throughout the days I have off. Which is, yeah, I've seen you doing the guild stuff a lot. For me, like, I like the guild that I'm in, and the guild that I'm in, I think with GG is called Under the Southern Sun. We're Australian guild, Oceanic folks mostly. I've run stuff with them. Even before BFA came out, we were doing a lot of old Legion stuff together. They're a nice group. I just my time of running stuff with them was like 5 p.m. Australia is 3 p.m. for me. So I'm at work usually. I'm doing work, and I usually stop working around 5 p.m., 6 p.m. my time, have dinner, and then I come on and do some stuff. And 6 p.m. for me is 8 p.m. for them. So whenever I'm ready to run stuff, my guild's asleep. So I don't have, you know, the luxury of playing with them a lot. So that's why, for those wondering why I pug my mythics and stuff like that, is because time zones is a bitch. So. But I definitely, for those of you that are Aussie, you guys in Australia, whatever, Southeast Asia, you guys looking for a good guild, Under the Southern Sun on Saurfang is a good one. I've also seen Perth Guild here on Saurfang, for those of you in Perth. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't want to piss off any Australians. Yeah. Those of you in Perth, there's a guild called that, Perth Guild. So you can check them out. Lots of decent guilds here. For those of you that are Malaysian or Indonesian, I've actually seen some guilds like that too. I saw a guild called Alamak on the Horde side, which I laughed at, because Alamak in our language means like, oh shit, you know, it's like a one-word thing to say, oh shit. It's like Alamak. So I saw that as a guild name. I'm like, what the f this is funny. That's cool. I know there's a Singaporean guild that I ran into as well. So yeah, if you are a solo player from my part of the world looking for a guild, use the in-game guild finder to check it out. You'll find some folks. Don't worry about it. Scrolling down some more, Rabishu says to Elseworlds with PvP talents, enhance feels good in the open world. Okay, we're moving down some more. Barlow says, don't rush it and enjoy. It's the best way to comment everything in-game. Hey, that is the advice I would give for any MMO ever. Don't rush things. I will defend why my pace is so fast, and I have already said it First of all, I'm reviewing the game, so I'm gonna have to make content. Secondly, there's other games that I need to move to September and October, so I have to finish what I'm doing here in WoW and then move on. So I do not have the luxury of taking my time. But for those of you, take your time. Again, like I said earlier, Pathfinder not going away. Pathfinder Part 2 is gonna be at least 9 months away, guys, so there's absolutely no rush to get it all done now. So that's a good point, Barlow. Thanks. Zeltin says, at least World Quest is better than the old system of daily quests where you do the same quest every day. As someone who played MMOs that do that, I would say amen. For me, and I'm sure some of you here that I've said this so many times, my first MMO and the one I played for so long was The Lord of the Rings Online. Daily quests in Lotro involve doing the same thing every day, daily. The only differentiating factor is who you're doing it with, you know. But it doesn't change at all. It's the same thing. And with World Quest, like I said, it changes every day. All these will be in rotation, so tomorrow's batch will be a different one. There's obviously going to be some overlaps that cannot be helped. But there's enough variety that, you know, I don't feel like... It also will depend on how often do you do them. You know, if you're doing it twice a day, every day like I am, at some point you will start to feel it. You will start to feel that.
The wildlife in
that
the
little
foothills
burn.
will no longer be a threat to the surrounding.
Okay, I've done 2. I'm going to shoot straight across to the chapel. This is pretty fun. I want to show off the chapel real quick, because in the Drusvar storyline, one of them involves what's her name? So some of the main characters in this expansion, you have Telia together with Flynn, which are really cool characters now. Telia is the daughter of somebody that I won't spoil. For those of you that know your lore, look it up. That's really, really cool. That they made her this person's daughter, Telia. Flynn, like I said, he's got this, you know, Jack Sparrow swagger about him. And Waycrest's daughter, there we go, Waycrest's daughter. You obviously get to kill Mommy and Daddy Waycrest in the manor, obviously, for the boss fight. They've been kind of corrupted by, what's his name? Goraktul, there we go. And that's also an interesting thing, because there's some backstory there between Goraktul and the Kultiran Druids, which I have a feeling we'll learn about more coming up soon. But what was I going to say? Waycrest's daughter, she had a storyline near this chapel here where she was about to get married. Sorry if it's a spoiler, but it's too good to pass up. She was about to get married, and you come into a ghost of her fiance, who doesn't know what killed him. He doesn't know how he died. So we get to replay the Red Wedding again. And I say it's a Red Wedding because you know what happens at the Red Wedding. I think it's generally used whenever people get killed or murdered in a wedding. And that's exactly what happened. And the kicker here is that Lady Waycrest, the mom, ordered the assassins to kill, you know, daughter's hubby of choice. And so that was a real interesting twist there with the story. And again, sorry for spoilers, but at this point, you know. So the thing is, the World Quest doesn't show that off. The World Quest now kind of assumes that now that you've done the expansion and you've freed Drusvar, this chapel is now open for the citizens in the area to get married. So one of these marriages goes wrong, and here you are back at the chapel, saving guests, picking up gifts, and killing invading stuff. You get to see all the guests in their tuxedos and stuff, which is pretty cool. So this guy's in Prot, I'm in Ret. We're like the perfect group. 2 pals. There was a point, I think it was over the weekend, no, it was a Friday, like there were 6 paladins on in my guild. We got a bunch of pellies. And we were all talking about weapon drops. And for those of you that are running Mythics now, or in the process of running Mythics, you will understand the pain that a lot of players have about weapon drops. Weapon drops at the moment are not as kind to some folks. And we as paladins, our best weapon comes from King's Rest. So not only is it attuned, or it's locked behind. Oh, this orb, the black one, is really good because that one gives us 376 increase to primary stat over the normal orb, which is only like 191. So anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, King's Rest, you need to be attuned, and that simply means finish the Alliance War campaign up to the second last chapter to get access to the King's Rest dungeon. So our best weapon is hidden behind that dungeon, King's Rest, and it drops from the last boss. In comparison to some of the other classes, everyone else's like best in slot weapon comes from easier dungeons. Ours comes from King's Rest, so it's like all the paladins in the guild like, let's do an all pally run, because there's gonna be some sacrifices involved. Like those of us running prod will probably never get it to drop, but for those in the group, the other 4, the 3 rat pallies and the 1 healer holy pally, at least we'll have a chance to get the sword. And let me just show you guys the sword real quick. So it is King's Rest, and it's the final boss. And loot this one, Getiku. It's a funny name. It's called Getiku. The real awesome stuff is the equip bonus that you get, or the effect. Your melee attacks have a chance to make enemy bleed for about 17k physical damage over 12 seconds. You are healed for 12,000 of the damage when an enemy dies when bleeding from that passive effect. That is awesome. So I've been running King's Rest and never dropped, so I'm gonna keep doing it until it drops. I want that sword, but that's the thing, you know, because this is my first like end game cycle. I don't know how relevant getting a weapon will be. Like, how long will that last? Because if the raid comes out and if I LFR it and if I get a cool new sword that's like 260, 270, what the hell was that 3 weeks of mythic farming for? Like, what was that for? Because I, as a sort of new player to the end game, I cannot gauge the time difference or the time distance. How much mythics should I grind for before I say enough? Don't overdo it, because things are going to change in maybe 2 weeks. Or as soon as you get a good drop, or as soon as legendaries come, if they're coming, then, you know. So I don't know how to gauge all this stuff, so I'm just doing it mindlessly now. I'm just like farming. So if anybody wants to share your thoughts on that, like, you know, when's a good cutoff moment of okay, content, stop running the stuff anymore, because you got to pick up upgrades really soon. I guess the raid is one good instance. So by the time Uldir comes out, if I don't have that sword, I guess I won't feel too bad about it, I suppose. Alright, last one, Azreck Empowerment. Let's kill Rodbow, and then let's head on to the Horde Zones. I know I'm going to be missing a bunch of quests here, but at this point I don't care. Pathfinder. Exalted. Getting exalted with all the other factions, while great, is not really necessary for me. I'll talk about this in a separate video, but every time you hit a certain rank with one of these reputations, you unlock their vendor, right? So you can go back to Borealis or wherever, and when you click on the vendor, you'll see a bunch of cool items that you can buy, provided you've hit that certain rep tier. So for me, 7 Legion Exalted, I get to buy a 350 legging. Let me say that better. Item level 350 leg plates or whatever, which is a good replacement or substitution if you haven't been able to run a mythic and get one to drop. Then getting one of those, you know, emissary stuff. That's pretty expensive, by the way, because you pay about 1,000 or 3,000 per armor piece. I can't be too sure. Okay, why is my... Oh, there we go. I was wondering why my nameplates wasn't showing. So a lot of people will not spend the money there, but you know, sometimes you just need that extra boost. Stuff like this legging here, Elite Footman's leg plates, you can only get this by hitting Exalted with the 7 Legion. So that's given me 350 eye level there, which is a good, you know, leg up to try and get you into some mythics or, you know, stuff like that. So there's a good reason why you may want to get everything to Exalted, but most of the time, if you already have, and the thing is, like, 7 Legion will be leg plates, but Order of Embers could be a wrist guard, so it differs for class. So by doing that, Blizzard has made sure that you will start farming all the reputations up, so that, you know, if you want a complete set of 350 gear without having to run mythics, then hey, you're gonna have to work for it. So that's why that's in place. I'm just looking at what else is here. Nope, don't need. Okay, let's go to the Horde Zone, shall we? Back to Borealis. Man, I'm talking a lot. Alright, let's check in the chat real quick. ggmyster says, I'm off to bed, man. Have a good one. May talk to you in 8 hours. Hey, good night, ggmyster. That was at 9:30. It is almost 40 minutes. That was almost 40 minutes ago. Sorry, man, but good night. Elseworld says, you still kind of do the same quest every day. Rabishu says, I'd rather not deal with being camped by players, and instance dungeons are pretty much all I do in MMOs, which is nothing wrong. Elite Group Finder is a Blizzard feature, says Balo. Thank you very much, because I was kind of worrying why that thing was there. So this add-on that I used was really cool in integrating the Dungeon Finder thing into the site there, which I really liked. Okay, Carlos says, Ret, really? Yes, an alliance, yes. Dude, you're not checking any boxes for me. What, because I'm an alliance rat pally? And dude, I'll play what the hell I want to play. If you have a problem with that, I can't help you. So that's all I got to say. It's an MMO. It's a freedom to play what you play what you want to play. And this goes the same for everybody out there. If you got a problem with me playing what I want to play, what are you doing in a stream? You know, that kind of thing. So I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm an Alliance Rat Pelly, and I'll play what the fuck I want to play, man. Sugar says, Jeremy, your English speaking in real time is incredible. What? That's the Shag. That's the. I've never had that compliment before. I'm not even sure if that's a compliment, but thank you, man. I'm surprised I'm even able to talk while I'm on stream, trying to show off all this stuff. Okay, here's the thing. Turtle and Seekers, let's see, Vol'dun and Zuldazar. This one expires in 40 minutes, so I'm going to go do Zuldazar first, which is between the three. Vol'dun, Nazmir, and Zuldazar. I like Zuldazar the best, alright? So let's, oh, god dang it, I didn't turn this in. Well, Emissary's in here in Borealis, so let's quickly go do that before I No, they're not in Borealis. I messed up. I'm going to have to go and turn in the emissary, because wait, actually I don't, because they don't go away. So I can leave yeah, I've got 2 days left of that. Never mind. I'm panicking for the sake of panicking. There's no reason to panic there. Okay, I can leave that all ticked and all done for the next 2 days at least. So let's go to Zuldazar, and let's do that turtle quest real quick, and hopefully that should get me closer to Pathfinder tonight. Let's go.
Safe travel.
In the meantime, let's check its chats more. Shagar says, stylized visuals make games to look good for a longer period of time. Realistic graphics get old in terms of visuals more quickly. That is a really good point, and something that I haven't thought about. But I can see what you're saying, because when you try and make a game's visuals or game's graphics very realistic and stuff, in the next 3 or 4 years, there's always going to be a game that has going to overtake that and going to make the previous gen graphics look kind of crappy. WoW and a lot of other games, most MMOs, I would say, kind of avoid that problem by having a distinct style of look that is easy to upgrade in the future, number one, and also just you don't categorize that as something that looks next gen, and it doesn't need to be. Like I said, if graphics is all you care about, then sure, you're gonna have a problem with that. But if it's not, and you're more you care more about the gameplay, like again, I'll go back to Lotro, because that's the one I spent 7 years on, and playing there, like the graphics never occurred to me that this is old, this is aging. The performance issues piss me off more than the graphics, if I'm being honest. A lot of people are like, oh, Lotro's an old game, it looks like crap. I'm like, it may look like crap, I don't care, but it runs, the performance is what I'm more, I care about more than how it looks. So I see what you're saying there, if that answered anything. That wasn't even a question, it was a statement, but I'm just rambling on there. We got Rico! Hello, Rico! He says, I thought souring over my preferred class would help me try out other playstyles. It did somewhat, but I mostly go back and forth, not trolling, enjoying any. Oh dear, are you talking about your Star Wars Old Republic classes? But yeah, I definitely feel you. Like, there was a point in time in Lotro when, my captain got gimped. Then out of frustration or out of anger, I rolled the next best class, like the meta. And what we mean by the meta simply means the best performing overall DPS for that particular endgame or the stage of where that MMO is. So that's A lot of us at the time were like that, you know. Okay, you messed up our class, so we're gonna roll the next one, and the flavor of the month, you know, for some time. Rune Keepers, for those of you that play Lotro, there was one point in time where Rune Keepers were the best with their fire talent spec. So a lot of us start rolling Rune Keepers, you know, and it's just a thing. For me here in WoW, I like the Warrior. You guys will know that I leveled the entire review 1 to 110 on the Warrior. I like the Warrior, but I realized I was playing him all wrong. Like, I wasn't optimizing my Fury, DPS rotations, and all that good stuff. The Pally, for me, like I said, because it is a favorite archetype, this is what helps me get into the game.
Its life amidst great danger. Like these turtles here on the beach.
Like I said, I find myself fighting a lot with rage DPS in terms of which is more effective. You have to be twice, or at least twice as more alert and proactive as a melee DPS versus a rage DPS in WoW, which is why I rolled a hunter, a BM hunter, to see if I can improve on that. Take what I know on my melee DPS and also apply that with what I can do on a rage DPS to maximize my playstyle as a WoW mythic DPS or whatever. So that's my headspace is at for why I rolled a hunter here. Okay, so we're back here. This is another one of those beachy quests. This one is better for me because you get a nice view. You get a view of the Horde boat there in the distance, just moving across. And like I said on the top of the stream, you know, the Horde zones are beautiful. Like, this is paradise. If any of you have been to my part of the world, if you've come here to Malaysia, if you've gone to Borneo, the state of Sabah and Sarawak, Borneo basically, Indonesia, you know, we've got a lot of these island style, you know, areas that are absolutely gorgeous, and this just reminds me of a holiday, you know. And I think Hawaii as well. You guys have been to Hawaii, you'll notice that, you know, mountain range in the distance with the ocean and everything. This is, when I first came here and I sat back and I looked at everything, you know, it kind of reminded me of Jurassic Park a little bit, you know. When you get here, you got all the dinosaurs, and I remember a few months ago, or maybe last year, I had an argument with somebody on stream about dinosaurs in game, you know, that just, you have to suspend your disbelief to think that, you know, you could ride a dinosaur or whatever. It was kind of funny argument to have, but now I'm so used to seeing it that even my BM pet is a dinosaur, and I would totally ride a dinosaur if I had a mount now. You know, it's just, you get used to it once you know or understand how WoW runs things and how they fit that into the lore here. The Zandalar trolls, like I said, I haven't gone that far in the Horde storyline yet, so I can't really talk about that. But I'm really interested to know their story, because I know a little bit about them from back in the MoP days, and how Vol'jin was involved when, you know, he was about to get assassinated by Garrosh's group, I think, for speaking out against the plan, or the current Horde, Garrosh's Horde's plans. So that's the extent of what I know. Okay, so that one is done. How close are we? 1397. Good God, I need about 2 or 3 more quests, and there's only one total and one left, and that is up in Vol'jin. Okay, so now that we're here, yeah, I guess we could talk about that. I already said Zuldazar looks great, at least for me as an Alliance player, and the story here, at least when you're doing your war campaign, was pretty fun. So I'm gonna go and we'll start up top. We'll do some nesting worry stuff, and then we'll move on east and go on down. For those of you that play Horde side or have played through the Horde zones, what's your favorite of these? Like, is it Vol'jin, is it Nazmir, Zuldazar, both from an aesthetic point of view or a story point of view? Well, story, I mean, you can spoil it for me, I don't care, because I will play Horde side anyway. But each of them, like, thematically different. Nazmir is about blood sacrifice trolls. Vol'jin, you've got the Sethralist people, which are the snake people, which is just, oh, I love that sort of a, you know, that storyline and leading up into the dungeon and everything. That was pretty fun. And then Zuldazar here is just, I'm still not sure what the story is in Zuldazar, but this is where the head of the Zandalar operations are, and yeah, you got a group of Zandalaris that are not on the same page as the princess, and yeah, there's a lot I still am clueless about. But this is definitely my favorite aesthetic zone. Let's go up here. Let's do this elite Headhunter Liza's, can't pronounce that, Liza and Coatl. Let's go. Now let's check in the chat some more. Zentin says if it's the same in all regions, then the next one is 7 Legion as it was after reset in Europe. Oh, is it? I'm not sure, but definitely like every 11th hour or every time I do them in reset, because I do them once the 12 hours after reset, and then I'll do them the other 12 hours when it just before reset, and I'm not sure if it is the exact same one. I'm not sure. Does it work that way too? So if like the reset for the US realms are like, are your emissaries the same as our emissaries? For those of you that are playing the EU, is that how it works? I'm not sure at all. Shagraf says, what time is it at your place now? It's 4 or 8 p.m. here. It is, well, the local time here is 10:30. You can see it right there, 10:30. So that is the local time. And that's weird. Oh boy, hang on a sec here. My chat add-on just went nuts. Okay, I should be able to see chat more clearly now. And I'm all caught up with chat, guys. I'm all caught up with chat. It only took me like 45 minutes to read every one of your messages, but see, the thing is, you guys spend the time to watch the stream and, you know, to say your thoughts, and I'm here to do some world quests and read what you have to say. So thank you very much, all of you, for, you know, sharing your opinions here, and I will read them. I like hearing different opinions and stuff. It doesn't have to be about WoW. If you play a different game here, you can come on and talk about the game you want to talk about. So you are all welcome. What's up here? Oh yeah, let's click on it to mark it in the map. And the thing about the horde zones is that I have not mentioned is that, you know, when you come and do your first campaign, when you do this here at like level, oh, I forgot the first level, you start by unlocking outposts, right? I think I did that on stream, so you saw me unlocking the first outpost. So that's what happens here, that little icon there, that's the usual outpost. And then, as you move along, you'll pick up quests, and the more reputation you hit with the 7th Legion, you can buy items to unlock more outposts, which simply means opening up more flight masters. So you will see on my map, I have a lot of different flight masters here, which gives you faster movement in the horde zones. And the same will be true for the horde areas, or the horde that's coming over to Kultiras as well. Do your war campaign, get those unlocking more outpost stuff, and then you'll unlock all these flight paths, which make it really easy for you to move around and get all these world quests done. And the thing is, it doesn't end there. Once you've unlocked more flight paths, if you go to your champions table, your mission table, you will see that oftentimes there will be quests which allows you to upgrade a certain outpost. I mean, I've done all mine here in my pally. I've done all of them. But what upgrading an outpost simply means it can give you cool buffs. Like in one outpost, so you get there, every time you get there, you'll get a speed buff. There's one outpost in Nazmir which lets you ride a blood-sucking, I don't know the name, it's like a leech or something. And that just zooms you across the map so fast that it's actually pretty fun. So unlocking more flight paths and doing the outpost upgrade missions are pretty beneficial in the long run, simply because, number one, you're going to come back here often, definitely, if you're, you know, grinding for reputation or grinding world quests. So you make your life a lot more simpler that way. Alternatively, if you don't want to and you have easy access, a lot of people have the Water Strider mount. Water Strider allows you to run on water with that mount.
Spies have located a dangerous
And
threat in this
one
area.
thing you'll notice in the horde zones or whatever is that moving around, especially in Nazmir, there's a lot of walking over water with, you know, piranha zones, and it gets kind of annoying as well. So having a Water Strider mount definitely helps. So this is definitely meant for like a small dungeon group or something, but 3 of us can definitely do it. It's going to take a lot more time. I'm going to blow my CDs here. Try to make the fight go faster. The thing is, now, if you come into, you know, World Quest that's already taken started like this one, and if you go and try and find for a group now, and you found a group, you'll phase into that group, and so whatever progress you made here is going to go away, because, you know, you're joining the phase, or you're joining the map where the group leader is at. So now that I've already started whacking this guy, might as well help these people out. I still have time. I've got about half an hour more. Or this is a two-part boss, so you've got two of them, Quadi and the Headhunter here, so sometimes when you try and join a group and you zone in, one of them's already dead, and you know you come in at a time where the other one is still alive, so most of the time you'll come in, you'll kill one, then you gotta wait for the next respawn to kill the other one. So that's done. Let's go ahead and head on to Zebari and let's kill Tambano. So you got some really cool names here. Like aesthetically, horror, like I said, you know, the troll zones, they kind of follow. It's a mixed mash of culture. So you've got sort of the Caribbean style of language and accents, but you have the Aztec and Mayan almost, you know, style of architecture. So when you blend the two together, it is it's weird, but good weird. Because it's been going on for so long, and like for me, I think I mentioned this, I read or listened to a lot of the audiobooks that WoW had, and they're very consistent, so every troll character will speak in that Jamaican kind of Caribbean accent, and it just works, you know. We'll kill you on. I'm not good with that. I can't replicate that, but I think it works, honestly, because I don't have I haven't played Horde a lot, and I don't have a troll character, so it's hard for me to make that connection with the troll side of things. I'm more likely to play an orc than I'm gonna play a troll, you know, simply because I don't have that history. Like I played orcs in Lotro. When you play monster side, you play as an orc or an urk and you kill things, you know, without having voice quest dialogues and cinematics and stuff. But like I said, you get used to it. You know, you play through Legion and you watch any of the Vol'jin cutscenes. And what was that? Travis Crooks has just subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Travis Crooks. Not sure if you're here to stream or not, but if you are watching stream, hey, thank you very much. I appreciate the support. But yeah, so really interesting so far, the Horde zones, and flying will definitely help you negate, at least cut down the travel time in half. So, like, I'm traveling across the island with this other pally that I don't know where. Did he just pass by in front of me? Because I was so sure I was running solo. Yeah, we're going halfway across the island to look for this one boss, which just kind of gets annoying. So, again, if you have friends and your friends have the dual seater mounts, or passenger mounts as they call it, I forgot some of them, the names of them, but you guys can get it. Well, shit, what am I talking about? There's no flying. Passenger ground mounts, I should say. So this is Tambano, 250k, we can definitely knock him out. And we got Inquisition going. Now let's build up some power, let's spend it. Two pallies on a paradise island hitting a big crab, which kind of looks like a Alaskan king crab, really. Anybody had Alaskan king crab before?
With the way cleared, we can redouble our efforts against
that was
in this land.
Worth 90 war resources, which is actually pretty good. And I think I've talked about all the rewards on the top of the stream, so I won't go into what you know, some of the best ones are. But for me, usually if there's Azerite involved, I'll do that because it's also Champions of Azeroth. Oh shit! 23 minutes before reset. Where's that one? I want to do as many champions as I can. So that's down there, and that is by the Atal Graal. So let's go take a flight path there. Chat, we got a question as well. Zelton says, so what did you think about Warbringer's Ashara? Very interesting, first and foremost, and I'm not sure. Like, I recently watched it again, like 2 days ago, because I wanted to refresh myself, because I was leveling my new hunter, right, through Stormsong Valley, and when Ashara was brought up and everything, I wanted to rewatch the short to try and get an understanding. So she made a pact with this old god, or you know, this old one, and it's just interesting to know that she wants to be the one to, you know, within armies and everything, not fight under somebody else for their purpose, but she literally wants it. She wants that power. She wants it, not to save her people, but it's almost like that's how she is. That's what she's born to do. She wants to be that person, and I think that's pretty interesting. I want to see more of Azara, definitely, because like I wanted more of Sylvanas. I understood him more, I suppose, more than I ever have in the lead up from Legion to BFA, through the book Before the Storm, through the pre-expansion events, the cutscenes, the War of the Thorn cinematics, through her own short, in addition to that comic book where, you know, she and her 3 sisters went hunting together, trying to clear up their old home. And I got a lot out of Sylvanas in terms of me understanding her, but I want more, and I'm sure as hell we're gonna get more. She's the war chief after all. I'm really satisfied with Jaina. Like I think out of the 3, I know Jaina more, her story more, and I was really satisfied the way we saw her make peace with her past in the storyline, A Nation United, and that ending. Again, I don't want to spoil it, but I have to bring it up. You know, just to give you guys an idea what happens. Catherine Proudmoore, you know, takes over from her husband, who obviously dies in Paramore, and she is leading this nation culturists without her daughter, and there are people that always want a seat of power and are corrupted and will try their best to influence the person in power and all that stuff. All these themes you do see in that storyline for the Alliance, and at the end of the day, let's just say Jaina comes back and she was willing to take the punishment, really, for abandoning their father and everything, and, you know, causing the deaths of all the men and whatever. She's more than happy to die for that. You know, even if it's her mother who's sentencing her to that, you know. So that storyline was really satisfying, and at the end, I'll make a conscious decision not to spoil it. At the end, the cutscene where you go to save or rescue Jaina, I literally shed at least a couple of tears, because it was very moving, and as somebody who's raised by a single parent and all that stuff, I could understand a lot of that stuff, you know. And I kind of know where Jaina's coming from when you try and live with everything that you've done, and how would you have done or make decisions differently in terms of what if she had stopped Arthas, you know, not as the Lich King, but before. And she had one opportunity to do it, and she didn't. So there's a lot of good stuff in that A Nation United storyline, which I love. So I'm very satisfied with the Jaina storyline. Azara, I'm not yet. I don't know too much. So that short was a great start, but I definitely want to see more. So, yeah. Great question, Zeltine. Hey, more, please, give me more. I like answering stuff like that. So I'm going to go to Vol'dun now and just finish that real quick, because we have 19 more minutes. And I realize I'm 1 minute away from my Flight Master's thing here, so never mind me. What do you think about the Warbringer short for Azara? What do you guys thought? Actually, out of the 3 Warbringer stuff, which one did you guys like the most? Was it Jada's? Was it Sylvanas? Or was it Azara? I mean, they're all 3 really excellent ones with different, you know, music and themes. I love the Daughter of the Sea song, which they actually have it on Spotify now. In fact, the entire BFA album is on Spotify, thanks to ggmyster, who told me on my Discord that that is a thing. So music has been top. This is good stuff. 17 more seconds, and then I'll make my way to Vol'dun and finish up the last turtle quest. And then we can just chill around until the reset. And hopefully, I can end the stream by hitting Pathfinder tonight, because then I can just go relax. I can go and make some BDO videos. I can go and make some Guild Wars videos. I can focus on making my review for BFA Complete. I've got the dungeon video that I have to fix. I have a story video that I want to do as well. I've got a lot of videos planned, guys. It's just it's going to take a while for me to get to it. So bear with me for those of you that are here in the channel. Oh, the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks since BFA has been really, really tough, because you know, you cover it for yourself and for work as well, and you just have to have that self-discipline. How many hours you're going to play for work? How many hours you're going to play for a channel? How much video you're going to take, or how much videos you're going to be taking? And what time do you sleep? What time do you wake up? You know, all these things is, especially when you're a freelancer, if you don't have that self-discipline, you will fall into the pit hole of, yeah, I'm just having fun, I'm not working, you know? But it's crazy. It really is. But it's sometimes the best job in the world, you know? You write about MMOs and you try and understand, and you get a deeper understanding of, you know, not just the enjoyment of seeing the world, the quests, and what it means to you, but putting yourself in the shoes of the developers and seeing what they were trying to do here, or what they were trying to accomplish in this zone, or what with that storyline, or, you know, so on and so forth. And it's a really rewarding thing, you know. Love MMORPGs. If you guys couldn't tell already, I love it. Where is this going? I don't know. Save me, chat. Any more questions? Any other stuff that you guys want to talk about? I think I've spent almost 2 hours just rambling on about World Quests. I couldn't show everything on the other side. Like I said, I'm kind of rushing, trying to do it before reset. So I'm going to have to leave all these alone. I'm definitely not going to do a pet battle one on stream tonight. Because some of them, like the bandages here, for those who do pet battles, this is great because you can automatically heal your pets, which even then you don't need to, because if you have pets and you go under your spell book in general, there is a skill here that instantly revives your pets every 8 minutes. So the alternative is just to go to a stable master and, you know, spend 10 silver or whatever just to pick him up back again. So hey, so I'm not gonna be showing that tonight, and I can just go do World Quests all night, to be honest. But I just really want to get my Totaland done, so that I can go back to leveling my hunter. I'm pretty happy with where my pally's at, to be honest. So I'm just show you guys real quick. My guild, we have at this point in time, we won't be doing Uldir on the first week it comes out, because I think my guild leader said, and this will be different for all your different guilds out there. I personally chose a raiding guild when I was leveling in WoW for the review, because I knew this was the best opportunity I will get to be a part of WoW's endgame without and just to give it a proper look, so I can, you know, properly inform players that don't play WoW what the experience is going to be like. So I definitely chose right there. So we have 2 raiding guilds, groups for Uldir. Both of us are not going to be starting the week it comes out, which is September the 4th, right? You'll see Uldir comes out. But we do have raid signups, which, where is it? Yeah, there was a raid sign up for, you know, just to test stuff, and then I think about 2 weeks after, then we'll start running Uldir. So the 2 groups in the guilds, basically the first group is all the serious people, the long timers, the experienced ones, those with very high IA level and Heart of Azeroth artifact power. Those guys will go first, and they have a set time. Group 2 is more for, yeah, we're not sure when we can raid, but we definitely want to do it. So I joined Group 2 and slowly integrate myself and probably make my way up to Group 1. That'll be more rewarding for me, even though I've met the requirements already. Like 340 was our requirements, and level 20 Heart of Azeroth, done and done. I've also watched a fight, believe it or not. Fat Boss TV, baby. Fat Boss TV has been my guide for everything in terms of watching Mythics and the raid. Okay, here we go. This is the last one, and this is the collection game again. Yeah, pretty much collection game again. And as the same way I started the stream, I'll tell you right now, I've got this World Quest list that helps you mark stuff. So this just makes it really easy to remember what's what. Okay, check it in chat while I do this. Zeltin says, Jaina's Warbringer shot was my favorite since I played WoW since late vanilla, and it's interesting to see where her story goes. I am too, and you know, one of the things that intrigued me was, you know, at the end of that, have you finished Siege of Borealis yet? Did you do the end of Siege of Borealis and finish up the Nations United storyline? The whole Stormsong Valley storyline was to find the Kul Tiran missing fleet. You know, it's a legendary fleet that kind of, you know, went missing or whatever. And at the end of that dungeon, we do find it. And while Siege of Borealis is going on, something interesting happens. I don't know if I should spoil or not. I'm not sure how many of you have played Siege of Borealis. But Lady Ashvane, who's one of the close advisors to the Queen, or to Catherine, I should say, not the Queen. She's the one who's really been, you know, manipulating stuff and causing all kinds of chaos and pirates and blah, blah, blah. So she comes and attacks the harbor, and she brings a lot of baddies with her and all that stuff. And Borealis, at the end of Borealis, you see Jaina really coming into her own, and yeah, that's pretty interesting. My question really was, who's that guy on the boat at the end? I don't recognize him. Apparently Jaina knows him. I don't, so lots of questions for me there. But yeah, for me, I guess Sylvanas and Jaina was top there too. Like, I'm not familiar with Ashar at all. Okay, 210. How close am I? Oh my god, 400 more. That's 2 world quests. That's all I need. Just 2 more Turtle and Seekers, and I've got Pathfinder. Since it's 10 minutes to reset, I'll just stay here, and we'll see if we get a Turtle or not. That's the sucky thing, though. Tortolin is Tortolin alongside Champions of Azeroth. Champions of Azeroth, like I said, is going to be very important for you, because every time you hit a new rep tier, like I said, you can go back to Silithus, you talk to Magni Bronzebeard, and he will increase your item level for the Heart of Azeroth by 15, I think. So that's why I've got my contract on him, or on Champions of Azeroth. This buggers, the turtles, I just wish there's more ways that we could gain rep at them besides just those 4 quests. Because 4 quests a day is just meager, man. Well, since we're here in Vol'dun, let's just do some stuff, huh? Nearest to me is... oh, I can't pronounce that. Burgle the Basher. We'll just go with that. Burgle the Basher. Okay, Zelton says, it's Jaina's brother. There we go. Thank you. Tandred Proudworn. So, there we go. That's awesome. Like, I totally did not know that, or it didn't cross my mind that was Jaina's brother. So that's a little family reunion. That's awesome.
This area. Seek it out and neutralize it.
Is Burgle Lurgle in there? Yes. Oh no, shit, I pulled it. Oh no. Well, I suppose we'll just phase out or something. Unless I die here before I even get the opportunity to phase out. Phasing. There we go. Fight started. Oh no, wait for me.
Well done, Chief.
Done. Ooh.
These lands are safer for your
Holy shit. That just Titan Forged your 345. That was supposed to be a blue drop, right? And that just Titan Forged for me. Oh, sweet. Is that an upgrade? No. I have a Warforged 355. Never mind. I had a better one already. Oh man, that... See, that's the interesting thing, because World Quest rewards, as some of you have already pointed out many times, you know, they kind of scale with your eye level. Not a lot of them, because most of the time you will see some trashy, like 300 or 330 or 325 sometimes. But I could have sworn the reward just said Azerite Armor Cache. I'm gonna have to watch that part again, but that was definitely a blue. So the way Titan Forged into a 345 is actually pretty sweet. There's a very slight chance of that happening, and if this is a definite upgrade for those of you that haven't started running mythics or are just starting running mythics. If I didn't already have a 355, was it a 355 that I had there? Yeah, if I didn't already have a 355 Warforged, I would be screaming enjoy, which I think I did, because I thought I didn't have an upgrade there. So I just used my luck for that. So if I run a mythic tonight, I'm not getting any drops. I've just used up my RNG luck. Next one, Warlord Zorthrix. That's very nearby, and that's worth 235 Azreck power. Why not? He's right here. 5 minutes to reset. Please give me a total and emissary or something, which I think a lot of... If I am at this point, I guarantee you, at least a million other players are at the same point I am at. We're just waiting for a total and seeker. couple of quests or even an emissary to just get this done. So if I don't get it tonight, definitely tomorrow. Oh, hello.
We will slaughter any who stand in our way.
Orby. Done and done.
One less threat to worry about. Thanks to you.
Okay, anything that's nearby? Yes, there's one right there. Stolen canoe. Now you can see that 7 Legion there. Just it's kind of like darked out because I've already hit Exalted, so I'm not getting rep anymore. But the thing is, I do have that contract in addition to the Wii buff. So every time I complete a 7 Legion quest, for example, I'm getting like 10 for Champions of Azeroth. So even like for me, even though there's diminishing returns, it's still something for Champions of Azeroth. This is 265. Yeah, I'm just gonna fly down to Deadwood Cove and get that done. Stolen canoe boarded. Let's go. That one's pretty easy. 2 hours and 30 minutes of just doing world quests, of which things are going slow. But I'm having fun. Hope you guys have had fun watching this world quest stuff. For those that don't play WoW, you probably didn't understand a lot, but you saw me move around all the new expansion zones just doing random quests. Because in short, if you don't play WoW, that's what world quests are. They're random in a sense that you get a certain different stuff or different amounts daily. But if you played through the expansion, these quests will usually be familiar to you because they were part of a question or whatever. It's just that the mechanic, if you pick that mechanic of our quest out and you put it as a standalone, it works as a standalone. So that's what they've kind of done. So that's basically what this is about. And again, for those of you just joining the stream, don't play WoW, or a returning player, haven't played for like 6 years or whatever, world quests are kind of what you're doing after you've finished expansion content, have hit the level cap, and are grinding for gear in between waiting for raids or mythic dungeons and stuff. World quests kind of just spawn. They're on a timer. They refresh every 11 hours or so, or 12 hours I should say, and then it resets, and they offer a bunch of goodies. You just saw me get a Titanforge gear, depending on that skills on your eye level. You get the new Azreck power that's based on your Heart of Azeroth necklace. You can get gold from here. You can get rep. Obviously, a lot of people do this for the rep. In addition to war resources, which is again returning from all the previous expansions. You use war resources to upgrade stuff, and to buy soldiers for your mission tables and stuff. I'm not sure if I've done this before. Yeah, I've done this before. So this world quest is all about, we're gonna be swimming to the this naval area, port of Zemlon, and then we're just gonna be throwing bombs. So you've definitely done this before on the Alliance side if you have done the turtle area where you ride on the back of a turtle and you start throwing bombs. This is very, very similar. The annoying thing is, I would love to see you get on a boat with another player and then, do it with another player. So 2 players on a boat throwing bombs. At this point, you're kind of just fighting with other players who are in front of you. So I have to do this multiple times because the guy in front of me is pretty much burning everything that I want to burn. See? He has the advantage of being in front of me, so the person behind me is kind of fucked too. All this thing on the water, you just drop your bombs. So you're going to have a hotkey for the bombs. So I have to pick up the scraps, what didn't die, I'll have to go and shoot that. So the good thing is, the requirements aren't that much. It's only like 56 canoes sunk. I haven't sunk one yet because the respawn isn't favoring me.
It's too far away.
Anything down here? Nope. So it kind of sucks. What I should have done was I should have waited for about 30 seconds before he got on his canoe, because right now I'm just so crapped up. Oh shit, he dropped his, so I'm gonna drop some here. Any cannons on the far side? Let's try and get that one done. Let's get that one. Nope, out of range. God damn it, this is kind of annoying, really.
I'm out of range.
And there's a guy behind me too, so this is, yeah, compared to the turtle one was better in Stormsong Valley because the respawn rates were faster and you didn't move this slow. it was pretty fast. I would rather this one be instanced, really. There's a canoe right there. I still have not sunk a freaking canoe. So he just took that one. I'm going to try this one. Okay, that's one sunk. A cannon here. I've done cannons already. Hunters in the water. Okay, that's 2 canoes. I am definitely pissing off the guy behind me, if there was a guy behind me. Anybody in the water? No. So I gotta make another pass. It's all canoes that I need at this point. Two more. There we go. That one spawned pretty quickly. So in essence, you know, you do see that there's some creative license that Blizzard has with World Quest. Is fun because you've never, you know, it's kind of fun just getting on a boat and doing stuff like that. But some of the execution can be a bit of annoyance.
Teach him to mess with the Alliance.
So that is done, and now we are at 11 p.m. local time, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, which is also 1 o'clock in the morning in Australia, which is the server I'm on, Oceanic Saurfang. So that's reset for us. So today's emissary. Oh, it's the 7th fucking Legion. Oh, damn it. Well, it doesn't matter because I should have 2 Tortolin quests on here. So there's one Tortolin here. Make a logo, so you can see it's all refreshed now. And over in the culture side, which is where I came from, there is no Tortolin quests. No. So I'm definitely not hitting Pathfinder tonight. The good news is, in like 6 hours or at 11 a.m., 12 hours from now, there should be a second Tortolin quest somewhere. So I'm definitely going to hit Pathfinder in the next 24 hours. So let's see. The Alliance War Effort. This is all about 7th Legion. So for those of you that are so close to unlocking your Dark Iron Dwarves, you know, getting Exalted, and that's the reason why you want to hit Exalted with the 7th Legion, really. Here's your chance. You get 1,500 rep for finishing your emissary. If you're human like me, you get 1,650 plus the Wii buff. That's a lot more. So now's the time to go get it done. Rewards is 7,000 gold. Sorry, 700 gold. I read that wrong. 7,000 would be amazing. So that's it, really. I can't really show that off. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to go do the last one. Make a logo. Tortolin Seekers. Zandalar. Make a logo. And then I'll go to bed, I suppose, and finish up the Pathfinder sometime tomorrow. So this one is right at the end there. Nope. Where am I looking? No, make a logo's Vol'dun right at the top. So this one's pretty fun. I like Make a Logo. Make a Logo is a mini puzzle game, which is pretty fun to do. I'll show you guys that real quick.
Very good.
For those that haven't done it, just make sure. So there's one in Vol'dun. Is there one more in Kulturus? Yeah, there we go. So there's 2 Make Logos. So, oh, I definitely want. Okay, hang on. I definitely want my Wii buff for this. What I should have done was go buy the top hat. If you go to the Dark Moon Festival, you can buy a top hat for about 10 festival prize tokens, which you get from winning, you know, those games. I don't have any of that, and I don't want to spend time doing that. So I just usually write the buff and come back out here and do it. So I'm gonna go get the Wii buff before I do any of this, you know, Tortolin World Quest, because I don't know. Assuming with the buff on, that's 210, right? So 420. It should be more than enough, but I don't want to take the risk. I do not want to risk it. If those 2 quests are all I have, then I'm definitely gonna go and get on the Wii buff and get it done. Oh boy. All this for nothing because I'm just gonna go and hearth back to Borealis anyway. Let's just see if there's any other missions here. No, okay, 100 gold is not bad. Wow, that's great. So I have a checklist of things that I wanted to get done for World of Warcraft while I'm reviewing the game. And I hit a lot of those checklists way faster than I thought it would. The only thing left to do is really check out Uldair, but I've given myself until late September for that. Because as soon as I knew that Uldair was coming out, like in September, I kind of gave myself a buffer, really. So between now and then, I've got more license to roam. Horde site, you know, level and alt, or start working on some of the other games. By the way, Elder Scrolls Online, another game that I play heavily. The Murkmire DLC pack, or Murkmire DLC is coming out September 14, which is great because my sub is still running for ESO, so I'll definitely go and review that as well. So one of the reasons I'm getting a lot of the achievements and, you know, stuff out of the way early is so that I have the time to go do something else. Good times, y'all. Good times. Hope everybody's having a great September. You know, those of you watching, September's just begun. It's hope you guys have had a good one so far. The end of August is usually pretty interesting for us because me being a Malaysian, 31st of August is our Independence Day, so it's a public holiday and stuff like that. You know, all your friends are on holiday. A lot of them are on Instagram. Oh, holiday, yay! Booze, yay! Clubs, yay! I'm working. I don't get public holidays as a freelance writer. You don't. If your clients are overseas and you've got deadlines on weekends, suck it up, Nancy. Get it done. You do not get to, you know, wriggle out of that unless you're a really hard worker and you finish your assignments or you finish your deadlines 2 days in advance or whatever, if you're planning ahead. Like for me, I've got nothing really planned, but it's just kind of funny that, you know, I've missed out in the last about 2 years. I've missed out on so many of these public holidays, including the National Day, which is kind of sad. I mean, I think I'm patriotic, but I'm not that patriotic to, you know, wake up in the morning, go see the parade and stuff like that. I used to do that when I was younger, but, you know, these days, like, getting up in the morning is already bad enough. Getting out in the morning to go under the sun and watch, you know, a military parade or whatever, just not. No thanks. So let me get that rebuff real quick, and let's get back to doing something to keep my focus on the MMO and not on other stuff, which will bore you guys to bits. Almost there. Almost there. Pathfinder, almost there. When you're so close to something, you know, your brain goes into a mode. And I've been in the situation many times, especially for things that really matter to me. Like back in Lotro, when I'm grinding in PvMP to get ranks. And ranks are a big deal for those of us that PvP back in the day, because they're not only a symbol or status for somebody that is a veteran of the PvP community, they also give you some buffs, but they're not great buffs. Lotro has a system called Audacity, which means, you know, the more Audacity gear you have, the higher your mitigations against the orc damage or whatever it'll be. I was more focused on the title and you know, the entire thing surrounding ranking up and hitting one of the highest ranks in game, and because you spent the time, you've learned the mechanics, you've met and played with hundreds and hundreds of people over the course of years, and there was a period where, you know, grinding for the amount of kills that you need to earn the reputation to get to that rank, it became a thing where I would go in zombie mode. I wouldn't sleep. I would just keep going and going and going. I was so close to getting that rank. That was unhealthy for me. Absolutely unhealthy. But I've been there, you know, in the past where it's like you spent the year or 6 months or whatever grinding for that title, and you're so close to it. The hour before you get the title, it's just you zone out. You're only focused on getting it done. You know, people knocking the door, you don't care. Calls coming in, you don't care. Dinner cold on the dining table. That's how I used to be. I could grind. I could grind for days. I could grind for weeks. I could grind for months. Once I started, I got out of university and, you know, got my job and everything, then everything started to slow down. That's when I became a more casual player. So in the past, you know, that's my curve, my trajectory from being a hardcore player, then going into really filthy casual and making content about it, which I'm happy to do. I'm happy that I'm a filthy casual now, because I get to see the game, or get to see games in a different light, you know. But sometimes it's fun to go back into that grinding mentality, and people be like, "Hey, Half," or "Hey, Jerem, where are you now?" And they like, "Holy shit, how do you get there that fast?" Hey, just because I'm a filthy casual content creator doesn't mean I can't, you know, roll up my sleeves and get dirty. I've been doing it for years, guys. well, I don't have that experience in WoW, they're pretty much the same. In terms of all these theme park MMOs and how they make you get on the treadmill, and what you got to do. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm heading back to the Mage Tower to get back to Borealis. So 2 more quests. I've got the Wii buff on. It's Pathfinder time. This gotta be it. If I don't hit Pathfinder because of the 2 buffs, I'll be shocked. Let's go ahead and get it done. I can finally go to bed in peace. This morning when I woke up and I saw I was that close to Tarleton, I'm like, I'll be super pissed off if I don't get that tonight. I just want to get it out of the way and just focus on now, you know, trying to get the weapons that I need, or trying to get the stuff that I need, and also level my hunter, and maybe do some horde side DK. So I just need to get that done, get it out of the way. So close, so close. $11:10 here. Pretty early though. It's alright. I think I've streamed long enough. And the thing is, you know, for all you guys watching live now or whatever, you guys are, it's cool, you know, because you guys are watching it as it goes along, and you guys are, some of you that join late, at least you guys know some of the context of what happened. For those that are, like right now, it's 11 a.m. somewhere in the world, or it's 4 a.m. somewhere in the world, they wake up and they come to the channel and they're like, oh man, there's like a 3 fucking hour stream that I've got to watch just to understand what happened. So I have to balance that a lot and figure out how long should I stream for, because in the past, when I was leveling for all the MMOs, you know, BDO, Guild Wars 2, ESO, BDO especially, I had one stream that was 6 hours long. And I remember a lot of people telling me, dude, love you man, but that's just too hard to watch. There's 6 hours of stream to go through. And, you know, could you make it shorter or something like that? And that's why I came up with the whole idea of making those post-stream vlogs. For those of you that have been on my channel for a while, you may have seen that, you know, after every stream, the next day or whatever, I'll put out a vlog just talking about what I did on stream, what my experiences are, what my thought process is.
Lord Admiral's favor, friend.
For stuff like this, I don't really have to for BFA, because you notice that I'm slowly putting out content. I've already reviewed Island Expeditions, so you know at least what I think about it there. I put out, you know, first impressions already in terms of the content leveling up to cap. Mythic Dungeons and all this stuff is coming in a separate video, so I'm breaking that down instead of having a full 30-minute review, which I've done in the past. I'm breaking it down so it's easier for a lot of people to, you know, look for a specific thing that they want to see or something, and get that information as fast as possible. So that's, I'm experimenting with different content, so to say here, you know, because I think I've done a certain thing on my channel for a very long time, which is a big, very big, long video. Where we are at today, 2018, in terms of how to, you know, optimize your channel and stuff and make it easier for people to watch stuff. I have to kind of experiment a little bit and see what works. So if you guys enjoyed that, watching me review a game or an expansion like BFA in smaller doses, where I break down specific things rather than lump them all together, hey, look, I'm looking for feedback, so please let me know if that's something that you enjoy over the long ones. So your feedback helps me be a better content creator, so I do appreciate your feedback. Tell me if you prefer that.
Of Lo, a young Tortolan who traveled the world.
Okay, so this is a make logo.
Travels were fraught with danger.
This one's pretty fun. Out of all the turtle quests, this one's really fun because you get a top-down puzzle view of like a city or something, and then you just make him go through, pick up all the flags, and get to the finish line there. So what I usually do, because my UI is the way it is, I get rid of my UI. You'll see that this is my starting point. The objective here is to go and hit all these checkpoints without overlapping a path that you've crossed over before. Excuse me. So this one's really fun. I like this one a lot. Of course, by now, because I've done this so many times, I pretty much remember the hotkeys for making the turtle go, turn right, or turn left. It's definitely easier when you hide the UI or whatever. At least for me, you get the full picture here. So again, the objective is not to cross the same path that you've crossed before. So if you've played a lot of these games in the past, you know, on your old NES system or your Game Boy, or even, you know, my mom is a big Facebook gamer. So she's done all these kind of like crappy games in the past, and this is something that she would definitely love playing. Like, I can't stand this, but it's easy enough that, you know, The first time is you're probably like, oh, what am I doing here? But it's definitely easy. The thing is, if you messed up now, like if you press the wrong hotkey, you'll start the entire thing again. Which is why, you know, you want to look a bit, focus a bit, and remember, don't cross the same path you've already taken. That's the last one. We'll take a right and go past the finish line. Boom. That simple.
Life in the big city wasn't for Lo. He decided to return to a simpler life.
210 there. How close am I? I'm 1 world quest away. 1 world quest. All right. Screw it. Let's go back to Borellis. Let's go over to what zone was that? Vol'dun again? Yeah, let's go to Vol'dun, and let's get Pathfinder, baby. And the cool thing is, you know, being in a guild when you're on prime time, you know, a lot of your guild members are on. You get to share because your achievements are read out in guild. So usually, you know, when people are playing, you'll see a lot of people on, and when you hit a certain achievement, you know, it's great because your guild can see what you've achieved. But usually when I play, like I said, most of my guild's asleep, so I'm gonna hit the achievement alone. Like, nobody cares. Nobody's on to see me hit stuff like that. But my guild doesn't know that I'm a content creator. They do not know I have a channel here. I've told one person in the guild, because I asked him, would it be okay if I were to stream guild raid runs? You know, because apparently that's an important thing. So I asked permission whether I could stream, you know, guild raid runs or whatever. So only one person knows that I'm a streamer. The cool thing is that I get to share all this stuff with you guys. So even though my guild's not around to, you know, type the grats in chat, whatever, at least I get to share that experience with all of you. So, and then I'll go to bed, happy man. Oh, here's a guildie, Dizzy. Oh, there's actually 2 people on. Well, there's going to be some witness to the greatness that's going to be happening in a couple of minutes. But to be fair, like, I think a majority of the players are already have unlocked path. And I still haven't run my mythics for the week, so I definitely want to do that sometime tomorrow, because I only got 48 hours more before the mythics reset. Okay, we're 1 flight path away to make logo. It's kind of funny, if you say it in a multitude of different speeds and ways, it sounds like you're making a logo, you know, make logo. It's make logo, which is kind of hard to pronounce because of the H in there, in the low. I pronounce it with the W, so it's like a low, you know, make logo, or make logo. I mean, if you change the accent, it'll make more sense, because, you know, I'm kind of half Chinese myself, so make logo. You know, when you say it like that with a different accentuation of the word, it makes more sense, especially with the Lo. Because Lo is a Chinese name, Mr. Lo, Uncle Lo. Pretty funny that when you think about it, but I never refer to the name of the quest as make logo. I'll always say the turtle puzzle, the puzzle quest, which could be confused with the gem quest, the frigging collection chest thing, whatever. Come on, I'm 1 puzzle away. Hurry up and fly me there, birdie. Okay. Yaddy yaddy yaddy.
We Tortolans love the story of Lo.
Oh boy.
A young Tortolan who traveled the world.
Yeah, that's not gonna bother me.
Often enough, Lo's travels were fraught with dangers.
I should be phased out anyway.
This
So.
story,
I used to be an adventurer like
Lo
you,
and the
then
sea.
I got better.
A young Tortolan must find their way to safety immediately after emerging from the sands.
Okay, let's go. This is it. This is the last one, y'all. And just for the benefit, for the sake of people who wonder what happens when you F up, like if I turn right and if I F up like that, boom,
Well, that's not how
you
the
restart at the
story's
start.
supposed to go.
So that's
Why don't
what happens when you
try
messed up.
again?
Okay, that's one. I'm feeling the stress now because this is the last one I need. I'm trying so hard not to mess up here. Yeah, I got this. Yeah, here we go.
Well done, hero.
Achievement unlocked. Battle for Azeroth Pathfinder. Azerothian Diplomat. Done and done. The reward is increased mount speed in Kultiras and Zundalar. Really? Well, let's put that to the test. How fast? I mean, I can tell there's a difference, but I don't know what the actual stat increase is, but it's done, y'all. Pathfinder has been achieved. This is great. I can now worry about something else. So for flying, and this is really for those that don't play WoW, it's to unlock flying in the new areas, and part 2 is coming out sometime next year if history is to be believed at all. So now I can move around faster in the world, which I think also affects my alts that I'm leveling up. So there's only one way to know for sure, which is go and play in my alt and find out. So that is great. Finally. Alright, so I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna log in out here because I can log it back in and check out stuff. But I'm gonna go and test my alt and see if it's fast or not. We got HK in chat say congrats. Thank you, HK. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Couldn't have done it without you guys. So, oh hey, somebody in guild actually said congrats. Oh, thanks. Oh no! I logged out. Oh well. Now he's gonna think I'm an asshole. Anyway, so here we are, Dark Iron Dwarf. These are a brand new, allied race. So the Horde side get the Magar Orcs, Alliance get the Dark Iron Dwarves. These guys are awesome, simply because of their racial. Like the one that I have is called a Molten thing, where anywhere in the world, as long as you're outside, you can port back to Stormwind or any of the other cities. So it's great for leveling in war mode, and then if things happen, you can just take that thing back to Stormwind turned off. So I'm gonna log in here and test out the Pathfinder speed, see how fast it is on my alt. We got Zelton in chat saying congratulations. Thank you, Zelton, appreciate it. Warfronts unlocked next week, so are you looking forward to it? Yes. Warfronts are something that I'm definitely interested in checking out, and you will see a review of it the same way I did for Island Expeditions. I just like the concept. I think it's not only is it kind of gimmicky in a good way because it's just new mechanics and stuff. I also want to do it for the fact that it's a PvP system that I haven't really dabbled into much, and now that I know how to use WoW's community to my advantage, and what I mean by that is integrate myself into the community for PvP and stuff like that, I think I may enjoy that experience. So this is my BM Hunter for my Dark Iron Dwarf, and want to know a joke, guys? Want to know a joke? Here, let me just get this thing first. My Dark Iron Dwarf's name is Direndorf. Direndorf is short for Dark Iron Dwarf. Direndorf, and I was so surprised that that name was not taken. So I feel kind of smart about that. It was just making a name based on the Dark Iron Dwarf, Direndorf. So I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, anyway, let's see mount speed. Oh yeah, totally, definitely faster with Pathfinder. Yeah, cool. And also, before I forget, let me just say thank you to the guy who just so I don't feel like an asshole, at least, because I saw it and I totally forgot that I logged out.
Have a target.
But yeah, Dark Iron Dwarves are cool so far. I like them. So this is the racial that I was talking about. This is Mole Machine. So this is one of their racial skills. So if I use that anywhere in the world, right, this machine comes out of the ground like that, and when I click on it, I can go to wherever I want to that I've unlocked this. So in the Eastern Kingdoms, I can quickly go back to Shadowforge City, Stormwind, Ironforge, and as you go through the expansions, when you level up, you can unlock Draenor ones, you can unlock Legion ones, and then you get to go tunnel there. This is on a 30-minute cooldown, so you got this 30-minute one, you have your Hearthstone, you've got your Dalaran Hearthstone, and yeah, really, really cool. I like this. Other than that, you know, some of the racials that they have, you know, removes all poison and stuff. Really, really cool. I'm enjoying this race a lot, the Dark Iron Dwarf. This is my first dwarf character, and I made him like that. I don't know why, but my beard's on fire and everything, which is pretty cool. I don't have all the cool sets yet. This is like a boosted character, so I don't have any cool transmogs or whatever. It's also the Trial of Style, you guys. Trial of Style, I don't know. I initially have no idea what that is, but I could change so much. I could change all my transmog for free, basically. So I've been messing around with all that. Okay, and that's it. I think I've showed off everything that I need to say. We've talked about World Quest. I'll just wrap up my thoughts in a sec here. Let me just catch up on chat, see what you guys are saying. Zelda says, it's not PvP, it's PvE, much like Island's Mission run with their new smart AI. I think Warfronts will be best run as a PvP. Sorry, that's what I meant in a sense that with the AI, like in a way, like Island Expeditions, I've run them some more now, and I found that while if it was a player on the other side, it's almost impossible for them to get a head start like that where they cheat, and you know they cheat. Like, they're not doing the things, they're just adding things behind the fog of war to their score. So with Warfronts, see, here's the thing. I've read about Warfronts a little bit. I'm not sure how many of you guys played Wildstar. Wildstar had this PvP mode called War Plots. War Plots. Look it up. Look it up. It's Wildstar War Plots. Back at launch, I did that a lot in my guild, and that was really, really fun. You had building mechanics, you had all this MOBA style mechanics, and Warfronts kind of reminds me of that. But again, you can run it PvE and PvE with your smart AI. For Warfronts, I definitely prefer going in PvP because it's going to remind me a lot of War Plots, which I enjoyed from Wildstar. It's one of their best features. So that's that. And in addition to, I think that comes out the same day as Uldir, right? So, hey, lots to look forward to. Anyway, let's wrap up this whole World Quest thing. World Quests, like it or hate it, it's back with BFA. I think in comparison to Legion's World Quests, it's hard, you know. Legion's ones, you just get used to it so much over time, and the fact that they're easier to do. I think the Legion ones are easier. BFA ones will get easier the higher your item level gets, and then it becomes a walk in a park. I do them, or I did them for the rep. I'll continue doing them for the rewards, because Azreck power and gold and all that good stuff will continue to be of use to me, especially for those of us that are, you know, still trying to get our Heart of Azeroth up to like a level 22 or something. So there's definitely benefits in running that. Are there world quests that are sucky? Definitely. There's some that really, really suck. I think I've mentioned that on stream. The one in the Tirigard Sound Hunting Lodge is just bullshit. The one where you have to, you know, kill a bunch of birds to get their feathers, and you could kill 20 birds in like 2 hours. Or an hour, because their respawn rates are shit. So there are some that you definitely feel like, I don't want to do this anymore. Otherwise, I think they're fun. I enjoyed the ones in the Horde area of Zandalar the most, because of the landscape and how different it is, and yeah, just the general story, because there's a lot more mystery coming in as an Alliance player going to zones like that. You know, Vol'dun and Nazmir and Zuldazar. You're like, what is going on here? And you know, when you start doing the world quests, it's kind of fun. It's really, really fun. So I can now slowly take a step back from world quests. I only do the ones that I need to do moving forward, and which is great. So all in all, the system works for where World of Warcraft is at, because if you remove world quests out of the game right now, just take the entire system out, and you look at what BFA has to offer after you finish the expansion, it's not good. If you don't like PvP, you don't have a lot to do other than start getting into professions. Start running dungeons, which surprisingly, I have had people tell me that that is not something that they want to do. Dungeons are not fun for them. It's for them, quoting, it's mindless, it's repetitive. Their community that they run with is not great. It creates a culture that's all about dick swinging, looking at the damage meter and seeing who does the best stuff. All this stuff is true. In a way you look at it, this is what MMOs have come, especially for those that run the content that way. That's how they get their enjoyment, and that's how they get their fun. That is true. So if you take out World Quest from the equation, the options of what you can do at the end game here really starts to get muddled a little bit. Island expeditions, now that they've introduced them, like, again, I said in my video, a lot of people will run them for the weekly cap. And then what? If you're not running them in Mythics, you will not see a good drop. Like, trust me on this. I double-checked that with a lot of people in my guild, and nobody have said anything good about Island expeditions beyond just that they're great for getting your weekly cap. Your weekly 1000 XP and your 2000 fire artifact power. Beyond that, forget it. So it's interesting, you know, to see what the Warfronts will bring to the table. But like I said, World Quest, if you take them out of the game now, it's gonna... I will still have enjoyed my BFA experience because of the stories are good, and then I'll probably go level and alt. If World Quests weren't here, I'd be upset because gaining reputation is really hard without these World Quests. One cannot exist without the other, I think. So I guess this will be a feature that's going to continue in WoW for a long time until they come up with something smarter. But World Quest right now, it works, and some of us like it, some of us don't. But you just do them until you get Pathfinder and you stop. There's really no reason to go beyond that. So that's really my 2 cents for tonight's stream. This is a 3-hour stream, guys. For those watching later on, I do apologize it's this long, but you know, I try to go through everything. I hit Pathfinder tonight, so that's it. So real quick, I just want to say, everybody that watched the stream tonight, thank you very much for hanging out. I appreciate your company. I appreciate, you know, the support. Thank you for, you know, chatting in chat, sharing your opinions. I like that stuff. You guys are awesome. And yeah, for those of you that, you know, still play WoW or have gone through the expansion, feel free to share your thoughts in, you know, the comment section of this video or whatever. I'll be putting out the videos that I was making sometime in midweek, so that, you know, there's not a too long period between the weekend and then where you can see some of the other stuff like dungeons and stuff like that. Other than that, that's it for me, guys. I'm gonna hit the bed. For those of you in the West, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. For those of you in my part of the world, hey, have a good night. I will catch you soon. So once again, I'm Adrian, and I thank you guys for watching. Later all.